Meet the builder of dreams.
It's a great honour to be leading Tasmania's new football club.
Sam Pang's brand new office comedy, Ground Up.
Time to make a little history.
Ground Up. Stream now on ABC iView. AFL.
On ABC Sport, you're listening to the 2026 AFL Premiership season on ABC Radio,
Sport Digital
and ABC Listen.
It's a North Melbourne home game, but it's at the home of the West Coast Eagles. It's the Kangaroos and the Eagles. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Clint Wilden with you. No late changes, but plenty were made going into this. West Coast having to make three big ones. Ginbey, McCarthy, Dersma all out through injury, and Champion was omitted. Coming into the side, a debut for a player they picked up just a couple of weeks ago. Marcus Herbert from the Geelong side in the VFL. He was their 2025 best and fairest. He comes in to make his debut after just 2 games in the WAFL. Ross gets an opportunity, so does Hewitt, and Josh Lindsay returns to the side. While North Melbourne, fascinatingly, despite being belted by 124 points last week to Fremantle, only made 2 changes through omission. Fisher and Dawson out. Hardiman misses with concussion. So the Kangaroos, they too have a debutant today. It's one of their tall players, 207 centimetres of Taylor Goad after 3 years in the VFL. Finally gets his opportunity, the 21-year-old, taken at pick 20 in the 23 draft. He starts today for North Melbourne. Lemires comes in as well, and also getting another opportunity, a chance for one of their other youngsters in probably coming into the team. Cooper Harvey returns, his first game of the season. Clint Wilden with you. Cash Fotodar is with me. G'day, Cash.
Good afternoon, Clint. Delighted to be here. A bit strange with a North Melbourne home game at Perth Stadium, and I think they are the focus today to see how they bounce back from that Bunbury bloodbath.
Certainly put a lot of pressure on their coach, Alistair Clarkson. There were many questions raised about his future at this football club, but for the moment, they'll be just keen on getting the 4 points. Let's welcome our 2 experts. Dual premiership player with the West Coast Eagles. I speak of Chris Waterman. Alongside him, All-Australian and former AFLW captain of the Fremantle Dockers, Cara Antonio. Welcome to you both. What are we expecting today? Can North bounce back? They are the favourites, bizarrely, despite being belted last week. Or how will West Coast be able to perform with those 3 big outs, 3 of their key players from this season missing for today's game? Muddy, welcome to you.
Thanks, Clint. No, I reckon North are just glad they're back out on the Oval this week, and that's behind them now, and I reckon they were also pretty happy that they were over in WA and not back in Melbourne, where they probably would have got slaughtered for that effort. They didn't miss out on too much, but they'd be happy to be back out and resurrect that game that they put in last week. And, yeah, there's some big outs for West Coast, but it's just opened the door for Elijah Hewitt and Tom Gross and a few of these guys to come in and try and stamp their case in this team, and that's where the coach has got this team. He's moved them in and out really, really smartly, I thought, and kept them all at bay. And, yeah, we were here when North came over and absolutely jumped out of the gates against West Coast early in the year. So I'm not really sure what to expect. I'm expecting West Coast to win, but a lot of other people aren't. Cara, I'm not sure what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how North, they got smacked all across the ground, 124-point loss, how they respond, but also how West Coast start, because they finished last week really, really strong. We called it muddy and probably should have won that game against Port Adelaide. Their forward half game and pressure in that last quarter was outstanding. So for me, it will be the ruck battle, Cherry versus Williams, and won and lost in that midfield. So looking forward to a tight contest today.
Toss of the coin of Cash.
Nick Larkey has won the toss for North Melbourne, and they will kick to the city end to start this game.
Let's head downstairs. Bridget Lacey on the boundary for us today, Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Welcome, Bridge.
Thanks, Clint. Great to be here. It's a cool day in Perth, about 17 degrees, but the sun has come out. So a bit of a watch, I think, to see how much the players slip over on this ground, because sometimes when we have part of the ground in sunshine and part not, that can be an issue. It's a little bit damp underfoot on this side of the broadcast side of the ground as well, but otherwise perfect conditions. A bit of a blustery breeze, but nothing that's going to bother the players. And a good crowd by the looks is going to come in for this North Melbourne home game as well. The starting benches for both sides: for North, Wardlaw, Dersma, Goad, Constanti and Zerha, and for West Coast, Lindsay, Hewitt, Duff, Tytler, Johnston and Davis. nervous.
North Melbourne, traditionally good starters this season. They've won 7 opening terms. West Coast just the 2. As we heard, they did bounce out of the blocks when last these sides met here at Perth Stadium back in round 2. At one stage, they led by 30 points before West Coast were able to run them down. How does today go? It's the Eagles and the Roos. Here's a cash voted up.
Bailey Williams up against Jerry. Rises high, does the Eagle. Wins the tap, but it's a free kick straight away from the centre ball up, and it will go the way of the Eagles ruck in Williams. So the helmeted Sherry stands the mark. Williams plays on, sends the Eagles inside 50. Coming out on the lead, Shanahan bounces off his chest, can't take the mark, and he's got himself a free kick. So a perfect start here for West Coast. Job Shanahan leading out has earned himself a free kick and will have a shot on goal early. In fact, the free kick is going to Harley Reid.
I was going to say, initially I thought it was a great spoil, to be honest, from the North Melbourne defender.
And looking at the replay, Reid was in a contest in the front of Shanahan leading out, and he was being held by Simpkin. So Harley Reid from 35 metres out, directly in front, kicks an absolute floater and just sneaks it in to score. So a minor score to start for the Eagles. They're one behind. The Roos yet to score.
Kangaroos, as you'd expect, it is their home game. They're wearing their home colours. They kick beyond defensive 50. It's there to Darling, to Spargo. Hand pass dangerous across half-back. Taken by Reid. Got a hand pass away to Kelly for the Eagles. Moves it inside forward 50. Long-range shot on goal is missing to the left-hand side off Gross. Comes into this game with 4 goals, 3 in West Coast Waffle win over the league leaders Claremont in the WAFL. Misses that time. The Eagles 2 behinds. North yet to score, opening 2 minutes.
A couple of let-offs early for North Melbourne. Parker with the long kick out towards left half-back. Larkey in front of Tyler Young. Can't take the mark. The ball is knocked out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Just the attacking side, or in between the wing and half-forward for West Coast. Jerry and Williams give each other a bit of space as the umpire unfurls, throws it in. Williams reaches over the top, down to Reid, flicks out the handball, couldn't find Hoff. Curtis in there for North. Kelly gets it, gives a handball backwards. A big tackle laid there by Davies Uniacke on Baker. And the umpire will ball it up right on the logo of this broadcast wing. Rucks tangle again. Williams with the palm out boundary side. Sheasel first there for North. Handballs back to Sherry. He's tackled strongly by Harley Reid. Brings the big ruckman down to ground right in front of the interchange gates. And he'll ball it up again.
Luke Parker playing as the spare behind the ball for North Melbourne. The Eagles in their away golden jumper. The blue wings. Ball bobbles around. Blamires worked it out. Davies Uniacke for North. Hand pass on to McKercher. Hand pass again to right half forward. Inside forward 50. Blamires kick goes. Mark taken at the back by Darling. Leading out into the right forward pocket. An opportunity for the former Eagle to score the first goal of the game.
Good matchup for Jack. I mean, he's got Duggo for height here. Starcevich started on Jack Darling, but when Darling went deep, they swapped over and Starcevich came up to Curtis. But if Duggo is going to pick up Darling, he's got a good size advantage over him.
Premiership player with West Coast. Of course, now in North Melbourne colours from the right forward pocket. He puts it through for North and raises both hands up into the air to celebrate. Back at Perth Stadium, back among the goal kickers, Jack Darling. North with the first of the afternoon. They're one straight 6, the Kangaroos. West Coast 2 behinds. We've gone nearly 4 minutes in the opening term. Saturday footy on ABC Sport, ABC Local Radio, Sport Digital and on ABC Listen.
Yeah, the other matchup is Milan Murdoch going to Caleb Daniel. And I thought that McKercher was the better option, but it was McKercher then who took off from Tom Gross and got involved in that chain of handballs. So that's one that West Coast might need to rethink. I think McKercher's more the dangerous player, and Caleb Daniel's trying to get away from Milan Murdoch already. So I think you just play a smart player on Caleb Daniel.
North Melbourne with the first goal on the board and they're home away from home. Tossed up, Jerry stays down. Williams wins the tap. Harley Reid out after it for West Coast. Defensive side of centre square. Handball to Yeo. Back to Reid. Comes out now the northern wing. The handball misses Lindsay. He's under pressure from Spargo. Gets the handball away. Simpkin first to it for North and he's escorted out over the boundary line. In fact, he's just a bit of an over-the-top tackle really from Reid. He was into Simpkin's back and the former North Melbourne captain will have the free kick right in front of the benches. Looks up the field, puts it up towards right half forward. Big pack of players. Young with the spoil on Larkey. McKercher out after it for North. West Coast can't clear. Larkey and Young clash for the ball. The Eagles are going backwards here. Young, strong tackle by Curtis. He's dumped. Ball spills free. Big pack of players around it. Curtis goes again. He's pulled off the ball. No free kick, and Duggan with a high clearing kick out of defensive 50. But it's all North Melbourne, and Parker takes the mark. Attacking side of the northern wing for North Melbourne.
North by 4 points. 5 and a bit gone in the first. Kick into the right forward pocket. Met by Williams of the Eagles. Hand pass to Marrick. Hand pass to Kelly. Tackled the ground. Ball spilled out. Sherry's hand pass was awry. Went as far as Harley Reid. And his hand pass across half back. Intercepted. Parker to Blameyer's. Got a kick away inside forward. 50. Spargo. Marks 40 from goal. 45-degree angle out to the right-hand side.
Great passage by North Melbourne, particularly behind the ball. Set up really strong. Great pressure come forward from their forwards and mids and just created turnover and something out of nothing. Dropped the ball in, playing in front.
Won a premiership on this ground with Melbourne back in 2021. Charlie Spargo. Boots crossed the 50, worked his way out to the right. He needs it to swing back. It doesn't. Misses to the right-hand side. 1-1-7 North Melbourne, 2 behind the Eagles. 6.5 gone opening term. This is Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Clint Wilden alongside a Cash voted are in commentary.
Brandon Starcevic with the kick-in duties for West Coast. Comes out towards left half back. Wants Williams to fly. Sherry at the back. Gets hands to it. Comes down. Claims the mark. And the umpire pays it. And Tristan Sherry has it. So 65 from goal. Handball into Sheasel. Goes into the pocket. Looking for a target there in Larkey. And Starcevic just shoves him out of the contest. 2 hands in the back. Did not disguise that very well at all, Brandon Starcevic. And it's a free kick here for the North Melbourne captain, Nick Larkey. He can have a shot 30 metres out and a tight angle to the right.
Identical start, West Coast, to last week. Port just dominated and they could not get it out of their forward 50 and they're having the same problem.
Nick Larkey kicks 6 goals. Back in round 2 when these sides met at this very venue. In he comes. The new skipper for North Melbourne. His kick is across the face. And in fact, it just sneaks in 4 behind to the left. North Melbourne 1-2-8. The Eagles 2 behinds. 7.5 minutes gone in the first term here at Perth Stadium.
So Lindsay with the kick-in duties. Back in the team this week for West Coast. Go beyond defensive 50. Big pack up at left half back. No mark taken. Spilled down here for Blameyer's. North will send it back inside forward 50. Sliding out Bazzo. Couldn't complete the mark. Got it to Duggan. Tackled by Curtis over the boundary line. Right forward pocket for North. They've had the majority of the play down at that end of the ground. They're kicking to the right of our broadcast position. The city end of Perth Stadium. Inside 50s at the moment. 6-2 in favour of the Kangaroos. Thrown back in. Williams got fingertips to it. Came out the side though. Stevens for the Kangaroos to Simpkin. Still right forward pocket. To Constanti is kicked high up in the air and it's eventually going to float across the boundary line for a free kick to be awarded for out of bounds on the full to West Coast. And it's the newly shorn Elijah Hewitt. It's giving the, more than a short back and sides. Kicks beyond defensive 50.
Doing his best Starcevic impersonation there, Elijah Hewitt, as West Coast work the ball now up towards centre half forward through Bailey Williams. Jake Waterman takes the mark. Still 60 from home. Looks for an option. It's Tom Cole leading out to the left forward pocket. Can't hit him. Under pressure here from Harvey. And a pair of them, Cole and Cooper Harvey, escort the ball out over the boundary line. It'll be thrown in 40 metres around from the West Coast goal in the right forward pocket. Out in the sunshine of the southern side of Perth Stadium. Williams and Sherry, they tangle again. Sherry front position down to Daniel. Back to his helmeted brethren and Sherry. Up towards the wing. Starcevich with a big fist for West Coast. McKercher does the roving. Handball to Simpkin. He's tackled strongly by Reid. And the umpire will have to sort this one out. Just the attacking side of the centre square for West Coast.
Cracking afternoon for it. Cool but bright sunshine. Sherry takes the ball, gets a clean possession and kicks towards Larkey, who marks and immediately urges his fellow Roos to stream forward. Has it still in the centre square, a bit shy of half forward, and then stabs it inside attacking 50. Curtis Marks. About 45 out from goal. He'll start in line with the left hand behind post.
Looking at the hit-outs, it's 2-4 in favour of West Coast. But Sherry, for me, is just dominating inside. A couple of clearances, contested possessions as well. Really dominating that part of the ground at the moment.
Paul Curtis spinning the ball over in his hands. Down to make his way in. Kick is on goal. It's across to the right. It's been marked on the behind line and then a snap over the body. Is it going to be called a goal? This is interesting. Trembath, was he able to get the kick away? What's the umpire, the goal umpire, saying? They're going to send it upstairs. And I think the call is it's a behind the score review. Has it gone across the line before Trembath has marked it? It has. That is a behind to the right-hand side. So despite him gathering it and snapping around the body, there's always a question mark as to whether or not it had passed over the behind line in the first place, and that's the correct decision. So the Kangaroos now 1-3, they're 9. West Coast 2 behinds, 11 and a bit gone in the opening term. Earlier today, Melbourne by 45 points over the Bombers at the MCG.
Lindsay with the kick in goes out to right half back where he finds Hoff. Hoff further up the line to Bo Allen in the blue boots. Tries to take on Stevens. Handballs to Tyler Young. Running out of defence. Kicks the Eagles inside forward 50. Zerha there for North. He drops the mark. Invites the pressure from the Eagles forwards. Now the umpire will come in and sort it out with the ball up. Job Shanahan, Luke McDonald, the last two players up from the bottom of the pack. Ball up deep inside West Coast forward 50. Goad, the debutant, doing the rucking against Duff Tytler. Sheasel gathers. Handballs back towards Goad. Now Stevens gathers for North Melbourne. Clears his defensive area. Ball bounces and ricochets back inside forward 50 for West Coast, but North have the numbers. Zerha brings it out towards the northern side. Handball to McKercher, puts him under pressure. Duggan with the tackle. North keep possession of the ball. Blamayes back to Zerha. Kick straight into Baker. Wins it back for West Coast. Handballs to his co-captain in Duggan. Now to Davis. Davis into the left forward pocket where he wants Waterman. And a saving hand there from Griffin Logue to knock the ball out of bounds. There'll be a boundary throw in deep inside forward 50 for West Coast in the left forward pocket.
You haven't seen the new player, the debutant for North Melbourne, Goad. He has a luscious mullet. Up against the ball, Williams. Goad won it down too to Daniel and straight into traffic. Tackled by Murdoch one side. On the other side, getting him Starcevich. Ball up again. In fact, it's Hewitt. The bald head confused me for a moment. Here's another one in. Williams, who took clean possession, went up in the ruck, snapped on goal, but missed to the right-hand side. Impressive from Bailey. Just missing. Minor score. 3 behinds the Eagles. Kangaroos 1-3-9, 13 gone in the first.
Coleman goes for a run. No one really comes at him. Now he kicks out towards the southern side. Bazzo in best position. Spoiled away from him by Trembath. Larkey overruns it. Trembath goes in again. Baker gathers for West Coast. Gives the handle up to Bazzo, but a free kick is coming back to Cooper Trembath. He was held too long by Young. Trembath has it. Just the defensive side of the southern wing for North Melbourne. Comes inboard into the centre square to Luke Davies-Uniacke. Davies-Uniacke takes his time. Goes out now to the logo on the southern side. McDonald. Further afield and wider still to Sheasel at left half forward. He handballs on to Spargo, who kicks inside forward 50. Through a set of hands and out the back. Herbert, the debutant for West Coast. First one to it. Handball to Bazzo. Bazzo handballing back towards Duggan. Misses the target. It'll be a boundary throw in deep in the left forward pocket for North Melbourne.
Matthews listening in from County Donegal in Ireland. Travelled over from Perth for his granddad's 100th birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Granddad. Good to have you with us. One down here by Goad. Got it onto Dersma, then to Curtis. Tried to centre the football. It's gone across the goals and then over for a boundary throw-in deep in the right forward pocket. 7 a.m, says Matthew there. Boys are still asleep. Great way to start the day. Go Eagles. Get in touch with us. 0437 774 774. Throw in right full forward for North. Goad got there, tapped it down. Davis was able to intercept. Hand pass away to Allen. Chain of hand passes to Baker. And then Hewitt just got a kick away before he was run down. Bounces to Cole in the centre circles for West Coast. Back to Hewitt. Kicks towards centre half forward. McDonald coming the other way. Tapped into his own advantage. Courageous and won it again against Murdoch. Handed it off to Davies Uniacke for North. Kicks towards left half forward. Sheasel marks. Now there was a decision here, I think, going away for a throw, but it's come all the way back here to the umpire who has it on the outer wing.
I think they've stopped player down behind as well, in the vicinity where the ball would have been entered into North Melbourne's forward 50.
Deep inside forward 50 it is as well. It's Davis who was involved in that chain of hand passes a moment ago as they took the ball outside of defensive 50. He's surrounded by 4 trainers. Anyone spot the incident on any of the replays? He's very groggy. He's in real trouble here, Davis.
I missed it, but he doesn't look good.
Yeah, I'm fairly confident. You never want to overplay these things, but I'll be very surprised if we're seeing him again today. He does not know where he is. And a round of applause as he makes his way off the ground, and he's requiring trainers on either side of him to help him off. He's very groggy, Davis. So they're going to bring it back to the outer side. So it wasn't a free kick, but that's why everyone stopped. Imagine that North will have the free kick, or I'll take the mark from when Davies Uniacke had it on the wing. Yeah, Davis, he's not well at all. Big round of applause for the 20-year-old. Game 22 today for him as he makes his way off the ground. North are told they can move it on, and they do throw through the middle. Comes towards Parker. Marks, kicks inside forward. 50, up to take the grab. Dersma of the North variety. In fact, free kick was paid from behind the marking contest. It's gone to Larkey. So he was being held in that. So Larkey gets the free kick despite Dersma having it. The result will be the same. From the top of the goal square, Larkey puts it through for North Melbourne second. They're dominating on the scoreboard. They could be 1 or 2 more in front. But North at this stage, and we are talking the 17th minute of the opening term, lead by 12 points. 2-3-15 to West Coast, 3 behind. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Bridget Lacey on the boundary.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, Hamish Davis has gone straight down to the rooms with the doctor. He looked as he was walking that he was getting sort of better as he was walking, not as groggy as when he first got up down there in the back line for West Coast, but I don't expect to see him again. We'll wait for confirmation from West Coast.
Yeah, watching again the free kick, Young definitely was dragging Blakey off the football, so despite being in front and the mark being taken by Dersma, the reason for the free kick.
Back in the middle, Goad up against Duff Tytler. A couple of young rucks. Duff Tytler gets down. Yo tries to break through the Goad tackle. He can't. Holding the ball. Free kick to the man with the luscious mullet. Taylor Goad on AFL debut. Former basketballer, 207-centimetre ruckman out of South Australia. Plays on. Sends the Roos towards full forward. Jack Darling wanted a free kick for being held. The umpire says no. And it's Cooper Duff Tytler who takes the intercept mark for West Coast. Plays on now. Chips into the right back pocket to his captain in Liam Duggan. Duggan just takes his time. Steadies with ball in hand. Now we'll play on. Kick it long and high out to the southern wing. At the back, Shanahan. Comben was in front. Shanahan got the ball down to ground, then it bounced back into his lap and Comben tackled him to ground. So the umpire will ball it up in the sunshine of the southern wing.
Thrown aloft. West Coast almost emerging with it, trying to break his way through was Yeo. Got tackled. Sheasel did well. Ball spilled out, and then Hoff wrapped up his opponent. That is holding the ball. Hard up against the boundary. Wardlaw took him on. Hoff, his arms around him, took him to ground. Great tackle from the Eagle. A good stopper this year. Hoff kicks towards right half forward. Flying out McDonald, got a fist onto the footy, spilled out to Parker, was able to manufacture a kick to no one in particular. That came out the side again. It's been locked in. Daniel diving on top of Gross, who was over the football. Ball up. Half forward for West Coast. Into the air. Oh, the ruck had a telling tap. It was spilled down here for the Eagles. Chain of hand passes comes to Baker. He goes long towards goal, and he kicks it for West Coast. They're on the board. Liam Baker sees West Coast score to 1-3-9. The Kangaroos 2-3-15. We've just gone into time on in the opening term. Saturday footy on ABC Sport, ABC Local Radio, Sport Digital, ABC Listen. And our experts, Chris Waterman and Cara Antonio.
Well, it's been a nothing game, really. It's been an arm wrestle, to say the least. But Brody Hoff looks like he's going to go the George Wardlaw tag wherever possible. He's going to come in from that half-forward flank, which means that Tim Kelly or Elliot will shoot forward out of the centre clearance. But been a scrambly old affair. I like the way North have won a lot of the loose balls to go forward, but they just haven't put the score on the board.
Thrown off in the middle. Williams and Goad. Williams taps it straight to Wardlaw. Handball now to Simpkin. Left foot kick to the attacking edge of the centre square finds Sheasel. Sheasel looking for an option inside forward 50. He wheels out onto his left as well. Puts it up high inside forward 50. Darling and Young. Young got the fist to it. Bazzo at the back. Handball to Baker. Tumbles it outside defensive 50. Awkward ball for Kelly. Goes back in after it. Does Tim Kelly. Crashing now through a number of players in that left forward pocket for North. Jack Darling, the last one up. And the umpire will have to ball it up. Goad and Williams will engage again. Williams in the front. Got it to Kelly. Handballs to Harley Reid. Snaps it high out to the southern wing. Shanahan in front of McDonald. Just knocks it forward. Johnston gathers. He's tackled by Harvey. There'll be another ball up. Another stoppage out in the sunshine of the southern side of Perth Stadium. North Melbourne by 6 points. 22 minutes gone in the first.
A lot of text rolling in. We'll get to them at quarter time. 0437 774 774 as the Eagles take this away from the stoppage. Kelly kicks towards right half forward. Travels over the back of the pack. Comben is back there for North Melbourne. Shares it with McDonald. Gross got him. Just got the hand pass out. Comben looked to tap it to North's advantage. Great pressure being applied by West Coast. Spill down to Gross. Quick snap at goals across the face. Not what they were hoping for at all. And North are able to rebound again. From the right back pocket they come. Out through pressure, through the middle of the ground. Lamaire's involved, then Sheasel. Now again to Spargo. Commentary edge of the centre square. Kick towards right half forward. Baker got in front of Curtis. Won it to ground, gathered again. Got it to Young. Oh, great tackle. Curtis wrapped him up. Took him to ground over the boundary line and locked it in. Umpire says it will be a ball up, though. Must have just been inside the line.
Oh, that's very lucky.
Now there's a bit of afters as well. Curtis got knocked over, and they're going to get the free kick here. That was unnecessary from West Coast. So Curtis will have the free kick at right half forward. He spots a teammate leading up towards him, honours the lead. Mark taken, and a chance for North to go and have another shot on goal through Stevens.
Yeah, that's unforgivable by West Coast. He just, as soon as that free kick was taken, just got to all load up on that one side of the ground. Just don't leave any space whatsoever.
Young, the player who gave the free kick away. Baker is coming off, looks a little worse for wear. Get Bridget to keep an eye on him. Meantime, here's Dylan Stevens on his way in. Ball swings right and misses right. Three-quarter post high. 2-4-16 the Kangaroos, 1-3-9 the Eagles, 24 gone in the opening term. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Clint Wilden alongside a cash voted our experts Chris Waterman and Cara Antonio.
Starcevic brings the ball back into play. Kicks out towards Shanahan on the far wing. Goes over the top of him and McDonald. Johnston first to it for West Coast. can't keep the ball in play. They've got a hand to it, so it'll be a boundary throw-in out on the southern wing. Umpire unfurls. Rucks didn't read it too well. Sherry got there first, double palmed it down. Now Curtis and Blamise apply the pressure and tackle Elliot Yeo. To be balled up, still out on the southern wing. Williams, Sherry takes it out of the ruck, handballs to Blamise, kicks high up towards left half forward. Looking for Darling. Young does well at the back. Constanti went without it. And diving out after it is Duggan, and the ball is out over the boundary. Let's head downstairs. Bridget Lacey.
Yeah, it looks like a right ankle issue for Liam Baker. The doctor's just having a look now. It looks like in that marking contest he just landed awkwardly on it. So hopefully a strapping and get back out there, but I'll keep you updated.
Yeah, it was up against Curtis just before Young gave away that free kick to Curtis at right half forward a few moments ago. Williams looked to take it away from the restart and was tackled to ground by Sherry. Ball up again. 50's painted on the ground at left half forward for North Melbourne. Sherry punched it forward, went straight to Kelly though. Kicks the Eagles back down the commentary wing, and Harvey's given away the free kick. A little bit of a nudge on the side of the Eagle who had it in Johnston. Moves it down the outer side. Now it's with Yeo, hard up against the boundary, just forward of centre wing. Kicks inside attacking. 50, Shanahan! Not quite. Got hands to it, lost it. Umpire spots a free kick out of that contest. It's going the way of Comben. He's got it for a push in the back, and he'll have it deep in the left back pocket. He'll kick across the face of goal, and they can set up again here with Stevens marking.
Stevens handballs on. Comben kept running, and the umpire's now set as 50 metres going against Bo Allen. And Dylan Stevens will be marched up the field. Does it now at half back. Now the umpire's calling him back again to come back around on his mark. So this will allow West Coast to get back and set up. Dylan Stevens has it for North. He's at centre half back. The Roos lead by 7. 27 minutes played in the first term here at Perth Stadium. Stevens out towards the broadcast side. Duggan in front. Larkey at the back. Manages to bring the ball to ground. Follows up his good work, does Larkey, and then he's taken high by Kelly. Umpire calls play onto advantage. Daniel, spearing ball inside 50, finds Darling. Jack Darling takes the mark. Man of the mark, Tyler Young, is 45 metres out, directly in front. Now, 5 years ago, I'd say Jack Darling definitely has this distance. Might test the 34-year-old legs here.
That was Caleb Daniels' first touch for the game. They've been given the task of tagging him. The other one's George Wardlaw, who's also getting tagged by Hoff, who's only had one touch.
Got one goal already here, Darling. Doesn't take the shot. Finds a spare man inside forward 50. It's Harry Sheasel, and how did he get so much space? So Sheasel can now kick on goal from a much friendlier distance. He'll put boot to ball from about 40 metres out, as good as directly in front.
Yeah, Yoey's pushed down now, and they should have pushed it Ryan Marich into there. They just fell asleep. That's just poor leadership out on the ground.
Harry Sheasel. Major ball winner for North all season. He's got 5 goals so far this year. Kicks from 40, and it fades to the right. Another minor score for the Kangaroos. They failed to do the damage on the scoreboard that perhaps they should have. They're 2-5-17, leading West Coast 1-3-9. 28 minutes gone in the first term. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
They've had a few chances, North. Left a few out there. The Eagles long beyond defensive 50. Williams up, got hands to it, couldn't mark. Cole at the drop for West Coast. Gathers and kicks down the wing. Parker did well, got a fist on it. Yeo was able to turn and got there first, and he was wrapped up strongly by McDonald. They call play on. Spilled out the side. This will be holding the ball. That's harsh. Parker then had it, and he's wrapped up by Allen. He's been hurt too.
It's a poor decision. Missed the first one, had no prior, Parker.
Couldn't agree more, Cara. Parker with absolutely no opportunity. Eagles fans won't mind, as you heard. It goes inside 50 from Allen. Umpires spotted a free kick here. It's going the way of North. Coming back here to Comben. A legal block, the call. Comben will have it in the right back pocket. Bridget Lacey's downstairs.
Good news for West Coast. Liam Baker back on the ground after having that right ankle looked at.
Comben kicks beyond defensive 50 to a packet right half back. Eagles had the numbers. Duggan went up and decided rather than mark to get both fists to it, punch it across the boundary line for a throw-in. 2-5-17 North Melbourne, 1-3-9 the Eagles. Almost half an hour gone in the opening term.
Between wing and half forward for West Coast. Jerry wins the tap. And the ball off a couple of sets of hands goes back out of bounds from whence it came. So another throw in. It's the attacking side of the northern wing in the shade of the grandstand at Perth Stadium. Sherry and Duff Tytler. Sherry front position, wins the tap straight down to Murdoch. He handballs back to Hewitt. Put his head down. Wanted a free kick for high. Doesn't get it. The umpire will come in and sort it out with the ball up. So the Rucks will tangle again. Sherry with the tap out in front of Spargo. Free kick here off the ball. Brady Hoff thrown out of it by Davies Uniacke. In fact, it's coming to Harley Reid for a hold. Is it? Or is it going to Brady Hoff? No one really seems sure. The umpires don't seem to have a lot of control over what's happening out there as the Eagles fans are up and about because Bailey Williams has caught the ball inside forward 50, but the free kick is going to come all the way back here to the wing. It wasn't Harley Reid's kick, it was Brady Hoff's, and should have backed my judgment first time round.
No, you were absolutely correct.
So, Brady Hoff from the northern wing will put West Coast inside forward 50. Big pack of players, Duff Tytler at the front, can't mark at the back. Marek lays the tackle on Blamires. The umpire will ball it up. About 25 metres out from the West Coast goal. Williams and Sherry. Sherry with the tap. Reid trying to go charging through, and a free kick has been called for a hold on Harley Reid.
He did that well, Harley. There was a lot of pushing and shoving, and LDU went for him, and Harley went straight for the ball and played for it and got it. It was a very smart play.
He's getting a bit of lip from Luke McDonald and Griffin Logue as well, Harley Reid. Perhaps being accused of going down a little bit too easily. He's had one set shot already this afternoon, Harley Reid, and it was a bit of a flower bag.
Lucky. Not much in that.
There's nothing in that. That was never a free kick to Harley Reid.
So he's going to go the set.
Smarter than that's for sure.
He's going to go the set snap. From 25 metres out, slight angle to the left. Reid snaps. Reid goes. And West Coast have their second. The Harley Reid with his first of the afternoon brings the margin back to 2 points. And there's a bit to go on with now here as well in the West Coast forward 50. Harley Reid, as you said, Muddy and Kara sucked them right into that. The North Melbourne lead by 2 points. 2-5-17. West Coast 2-3-15. Played 32 and a half minutes in the first term here. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
We'd like to walk away from this game hoping that we can talk about the football and the game itself, but right now a couple of umpiring decisions have just soured things a little bit. That one there and the previous one on Elliott Yeo when he was absolutely caught holding the ball.
The argument would
baffling.
be... The argument would be... Sorry, buddy, I thought you paused. Is that the hands are in the back from Logue. Harley's felt it. Throwing himself forward. Still not much in it. On the restart, the umpires aren't happy about something. They're going to give a free kick again here to Harley Reid. Pushing the back the call. On the defensive edge of the centre circles. He kicks long inside forward 50. He wanted Waterman. Couldn't get hands to it. Spills out the back. Overrunning it. Duff Tytler. Trying to pick it up there was Spargo. He's monstered to ground. Johnston there alongside Ross.
It is concerning when the umpire blows the whistle and players stop and don't know whose ball it is.
Everyone looked around. Who's that for? One down again by Sherry. Here's Reid once more. Oh, taken high. Now that's a free kick. The opposite 9, Davies Uniacke got him. No doubt on that one. Taken high around the neck. And Reid will go back and I'd imagine have another set snap. 45-degree angle, but no more than 20 out.
But he's just winning this battle. He's just got LDU under his skin here right now. And this is going to be 2 free kicks. And a 50-metre penalty, is that right? No. The 2 free kicks right in front of goal.
The ooze for the replay on the big screen. No doubt about the second free kick.
No, there's not.
Harley Reid with the set. Snap.
Oh, he's missed.
Oh, dear. He has.
And here comes Davies Uniacke to let him know about it.
And then he's been bumped over by Spargo. And that's just madness. Madness from North Melbourne. They've dodged a goal, and then they've given away another free kick, and it's about to explode. Comben has thrown Allen to the deck, who's got back up and has got a bit to say as well.
Brady Hoff just needs to kick this goal straight away.
Till it gets turned over.
They're still pushing and shoving. 90% of the players out there involved in all of that. Hoff has got the free kick, and from the top of the goal square, he pops it through. And that has given West Coast the lead. 3-4-22 to 2-5-17. 36 minutes gone in the opening term. And it has come from an absolute brain explosion from North Melbourne to give away a free kick afterwards. So Reid was there, missed. A couple of the North Melbourne players, Davies Uniacke, one of them, comes to remonstrate. And then in amongst all of that, they've given away a free kick by manhandling Hoff to ground. Hoff thrown to the deck there. Spargo was the player who was responsible. And that's where the free kick came. And that's just dumb if you're a Kangaroo.
Well, up until 3 minutes ago, I'd say North were in control of this game. And now they've just gone and blown it with a couple of dumb free kicks.
After all that, and after all of North's dominance in this quarter, West Coast have a 5-point lead. We're into the 37th minute. Williams rises high in the middle, wins the tap. Davies Uniacke to Sheasel, to Simpkin, to Blamise. They're going backwards here, North. Kick partially smothered. Johnston in it for West Coast. Can't get a clear handball out. Blamise goes hard and low, wins it. His handball turned over. Cooper Harvey lays the tackle. And the umpire blows the whistle. That's quarter time. And there could be a few more little spot fires here just as the players go out towards their huddles. No surprise, Harley Reid in amongst it. He has been getting under the skin of the North Melbourne players. The most important thing at the quarter-time break is the scoreboard. It's North Melbourne 2-5-17, trailing West Coast 3-4-22.
Luke Parker, something was said in all of that because he had a long, long look and then said a few things back to a couple of the Eagles, amongst them Tom Gross. Yeah. North Melbourne, I know they wanted a response and they wanted to be aggressive, but that was just over the top and it's cost them the lead in the shadows of quarter time. The goal kickers look like this for North Melbourne. Nick Larkey and Jack Darling, while for West Coast, their 3 goal kickers, Liam Baker, Harley Reid and Brady Hoff. 3-4-22 to 2-5-17. The Eagles over North at quarter time. Earlier today, Melbourne by 45 points over the Bombers. A couple of texts rolling through. Guys, what is the go about restarting play while an injured player is still being helped off the ground? Playing one short can't be right. That's from Mitch, who's normally from Lathlane, but he's sitting here in the crowd at the western end. Cara, Muddy?
I tend to, especially if it's a concussion, you almost need to immediately replace because they're not going to have any influence on the play they're coming off. It's always been a kind of grey area. I think, obviously, when a stretch is called, time stops and things are different and player can run on, and blood rule. But for that particular incident, I would have, liked to have seen a player come on. I tend to agree.
Yeah, I agree with that. Actually, so last Razor Ray on extra time on Monday night here on ABC Perth and Sport Digital, 9 o'clock in the east, 7 o'clock if you're with us in the west. Bradley's listening from, normally Bustleton, but he's at the Carragini Eco Retreat. Nice, Bradley, in an eco tent, listening on ABC Listen, as he listens every weekend. Good to have you with us again, Bradley. Paul from Torquay spent the last couple of hours updating on the World Cup and now finally touching base with my usual Saturday ABC footy call. Sorry, guys, going to have to neglect you at times for the next month. That's okay, Paul. Check in occasionally. I understand there's a bit of stuff going on elsewhere as well, but if you get the opportunity, the footy is right here. Before we go to the break, Bridget Lacey quickly downstairs.
Yes, confirmation from West Coast that Hamish Davis is out of this game with concussion.
No surprises there. Wherever you are on ABC Local Radio, Sport Digital and ABC Listen. This is Saturday Footy on ABC Sport.
Hi, it's Zan Rowe. Excited that a new generation are taking on a classic series. 6 filmmakers, 10 countries, 1 winner.
What could possibly go wrong?
Race around the world. Streaming now on ABC iView. This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Davies Uniac for North. Hand pass on to McKercher. Hand pass again to right half forward. Inside forward 50. Blamires. Kick goes. Mark taken at the back by Darling. Leading out into the right forward pocket. An opportunity for the former Eagle to score the first goal of the game. Premiership play with West Coast. Of course, now in North Melbourne colours. From the right forward pocket. He puts it through for North and raises both hands up into the air to celebrate. Back at Perth Stadium, back among the goal kickers, Jack Darling. North with the first of the afternoon. Comes towards Parker, marks, kicks inside forward, 50, up to take the grab, Dersma of the North variety. In fact, free kick was paid from behind the marking contest. It's gone to Larky. So he was being held in that. So Larky gets the free kick despite Dersma having it. The result will be the same. From the top of the goal square, Larky puts it through for North Melbourne second. Ball up, half forward for West Coast. In the air, they right at a telling tackle. Still down here for the Eagles. Chain of hand passes comes to Baker. He goes long towards goal and he kicks it for West Coast. They're on the board.
Williams and Sherry. Sherry with the tap. Reed trying to go charging through, and a free kick has been called for a hold on Harley Reid. He's going to go the set snap. 25 metres out, slight angle to the left. Reid snaps. Reid goals. And West Coast have their second.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
They finished the quarter with a third thanks to a North Melbourne brain explosion when they gave away a free kick. West Coast by 5 points at quarter time. Let's hear from our experts, Chris Waterman and Cara Antonio on ABC Sport.
Yeah, well, like Muddy said, North Melbourne pretty much owned 90% of that quarter. Field position, time in forward half, and just a few brain fades late in that quarter, especially around Harley Reid. He dominated that last 5 minutes, ended the quarter with 11 touches, 1 goal, 2. North Melbourne's goals have come mainly from turnover, but on the flip side, West Coast, they've had 2 goals, 2 from free kicks. So a really, I suppose, different way of scoring. North Melbourne need to be a little bit more disciplined. I've liked the way that they've started, but for me, West Coast have the momentum going into this second quarter, Muddy.
Yeah, the tags are working for West Coast though. Wardlaw and Caleb Daniel both getting tagged. They've only had the 1 possession each, so that's a win for West Coast. But yeah, I thought North had more control of that game, even though it wasn't a great spectacle.
As Cara mentioned, Harley Reid, the 11 disposals, leads all comers on the ground. Tim Kelly has 8 and Baker and Williams 5 each for West Coast. For North, Harry Sheezer was 9, Tom Blamires 9, Parker 6 and Dylan Stevens with 5.
L's here at the game, normally from Victoria Park. G'day, El. The decibels of the announcer for North Melbourne are ridiculously loud. Can you get in touch with the stadium operator, please? It's going to ruin it for us here today. It is loud. It's so loud. We have so many people texting about it. I actually would, but I don't have a contact number for them. I spent the last 2 weeks trying to chase the new stadium PR person. Apparently they've just employed someone. When I find out who it is, I'll let them know. Sorry, El, can't help you today. Ball back in the middle. From the start, no one gets a genuine clearance away. Hoff was tackled by Davies Uniac. Ball up again. Sherry with the fingertips. Tippin thought he was being held. Eagles try to manufacture a hand pass through Yo. Comes out the side, eventually bounces the way of Baker. Sweeps a long hand pass forward. Johnston gathers, tackled immediately. Harvey got him. Actually, a kick out of that's been paid, I beg your pardon. So that was definitely a hand pass. What's going on there?
Downfield, perhaps?
Downfield free kicks, the only thing I can think of, because the ball was given to West Coast. It's been sent inside forward 50 in the left forward pocket, off hands and over the boundary line for a throw-in. Shot of Ruben Jindy is the reason for the cheer around the ground. Shown on the big screen. A wry smile as the Eagles fans in attendance break into applause. Bailey Williams gathered. Lost it when he bumped into Parker. Umpires spotted a free kick. taken high here was Dylan Stevens in the right back pocket for North. And with someone to come towards him. So he stepped off his line and then has to hurry a kick high towards right half back. Young with the spoil. Saw it over the boundary line for a throw-in. Right half back for West Coast. Will be put back into play by the boundary umpire. The Eagles lead 3-4-22 to 2-5-17. 90 seconds gone into the second turn.
Ball tossed back in. Sherry reaches out in front of Williams, wins the tap. Kelly can't take it cleanly. Hoff does. And then he's tackled by Luke Davies-Uniacke, and the umpire will come in and ball it up between wing and half forward on the southern side for West Coast. Williams out of the clearance with the big slap forward. Stevens first to it. Tackled by Marrick. Gets a handball back to Harvey. His kick bounces up towards the southern wing. Comes off the shins of Dersma. Kelly couldn't take clean possession. He was bowled over by Sherry. Murdoch now handball to Lindsay. Sends the Eagles inside forward 50. Over the head of the leading target in Waterman, who wanted a free kick. The umpire says no. Ball is gathered at the bat by Comben, who's tackled by Shanahan, and it'll be balled up inside forward 50 for West Coast, about 30 out from their goal, just in from the boundary line in the left forward pocket. And from the ball up, the umpire blows the whistle. Free kick to North Melbourne. Players seem really confused out there every time the umpire's whistle blows. This free kick is going to Tristan Sherry, the big North Melbourne ruckman.
There's a lot of confused people at this stadium at the moment.
Sherry goes along out towards the southern wing. Big pack of players around this ball. And it's punched out over the boundary line for a throw-in between wing and left half forward for West Coast.
It's a bad sign when you're at the game, and I really want to go home and have a look at the replay to go, what on earth was that for? Thrown in. Comes out Yo, got knocked out of his grasp. North Melbourne will end up with it. Davies-Uniacke. Oh, Yo went and got him. Wrapped him up, took him to ground. Just took too long then, Davies-Uniacke. Free kick to West Coast at left half forward. I can tell you what that free's for. Rolls onto his right and kicks inside the attacking 50. Big numbers up at the back. Waterman kicks the Eagles fourth. He was at left fullback. It all opened up for him and he ran it through. 4-4-28, 2-5-17. The Eagles over the Roos. 4 gone in the second term. Keep your texts coming. We'll continue to run through them when we get a chance. 0437 774 774. First, though, our experts on ABC Sport, Cara Antonio and Chris Waterman.
Well, what happened to Elliot Yo over there was no different than what happened to him the last quarter right here, except he was caught holding the ball. At that time, it was a great tackle. He got rewarded. As for the goal, I think they all just flew, and I think Jake was the only one that stayed down. And it's the first time he hasn't flown it. Now and then you get lucky and they just lob in your hands.
For me, I'm a bit concerned. North Melbourne are playing with a +1 behind.
Yeah.
Ball, Luke Parker letting extra mid
in the contest.
Yeah, and they're getting dominated. So I think one for the North Melbourne coaches to have a look at.
After North Melbourne kicked the first 2 of the game, West Coast have kicked the last 4. Back in the middle of the ground, Bailey Williams goes in after it. Gets it out to Kelly. Another free kick being paid here. Now advantage West Coast. So Kelly takes it and goes. Kicks out to Milan Murdoch at left half forward. Still 60 out from goal. Murdoch wheels around onto that left foot now. Punches it low into the pocket and he finds Waterman on his own. Jake Waterman takes the mark deep in the left forward pocket. Hard up against the boundary line. Probably where he prefers to take the set shot these days, where he can come around and have a snap to make it 5 in a row for the Eagles.
It's a great kick by Milani. Just watched and waited. And unfortunately, Griffin Lowe got sucked up a little bit. Perfectly weighted.
Jake Waterman plays on now, snaps around the corner and slots it. He's kicked the last 2 of the game, Jake Waterman. It's 5 in a row now for West Coast and they extend their lead to 17 points. North Melbourne 2-5-17, West Coast 5-4-34. 5.5 minutes gone in the second term. This is Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Your experts, dual premiership player Chris Waterman, All-Australian Cara Antonio.
Well, North were slightly in front in clearances going into quarter time, and West Coast have come out and just dominated that part of the ground. And another set in clearance, and ball got out and found its way onto the goal line and scored, so they've got early. I mean, this is dare I say it, in a little bit dangerous territory for North. Just got to see how they respond here, and they've got to hang on, given that what they come off last week.
Another one, Luke Parker, free man, didn't have any impact as well. It's not working for North Melbourne.
Both rucks went up. Duff Tyler stayed first towards it, gave it to Yo, then to Kelly, kicks the Eagles into the right forward pocket. Trying to gather it back there was nicely done in the end by Zerha. Playing in defence, sends it across the boundary line. Almost like Jake Waterman came out today and said, I've no longer got the best mullet on the ground. I need to do something. Because Gode's got him covered in that department. Boundary umpire throws it back in. Sherry front position, got it back to Parker, kicks the Kangaroos towards left half back. Curtis couldn't mark. Over the top of it, Constanti went back again to Curtis. He was strongly tackled by Marek. Ball came out the side. Umpire says, no, we are going to ball this up. Marcus Herbert out there in the mix for West Coast, wearing jumper number 51 on debut. From the restart, came to Wardlaw for the Kangaroos. Down towards Spargo, kicks towards left half forward, through the hands of Darling, couldn't complete the mark. Bazo was back there. Worked it on to Hewitt, kicked towards right half forward. Oh, two Kangaroos got in each other's way. Sheasel could have marked it. McDonald, who only had eyes for the footy, actually spoils it out of his own teammate's hand. Punches it across the boundary line for a throw-in right half forward for West Coast, who lead 5-4-34 to the Kangaroos 2-5-17, 8 gone second term.
I think that just about summed up North Melbourne's last 20 minutes or so. From the throw-in, Duff Tytler gets in front of Sherry, palms it down to Yo, Hamels to Reed, bursting through, back to Duff Tytler, now to Tom Cole from 50, sets it up towards the goal square. Shanahan in best position, can't take the mark. Waterman does the roving and pokes through his third in a row. It's all West Coast at the moment here at Perth Stadium. They've kicked the last 6 of the game, and they are now 6-4-40, leading North Melbourne 2-5-17 by 23 points. And Jake Waterman has kicked the last 3 goals of the game.
Well, we're going to have to repeat ourselves. It's coming out of a clearance. That's all it is, and just creating a chaos ball up forward, and they sneak another one on. 4 goals have gone to up until that brain fade by North Melbourne before quarter time, where they controlled the game. West Coast have just gone bang.
It's their 5th goal from stoppage as well, all but obviously a couple from free kicks, but dominating inside, Muddy.
It's come off the knee. We're just watching the replays.
Oh, he's going to get this one taken off him.
They are. So it hasn't come from below the knee. It's come off the knee on the score check before the restart. So it is just the behind. So Jake Waterman just with the 2 goals again. 5-5-35 the score. To North Melbourne, who had not scored in this quarter. 2-5-17 the score remains for the Kangaroos. Daniel takes the kicking duties and goes out to Parker in the right back pocket. He'll pop it over the top to Stevens. Hands it back to Parker on the run and stabs it to Constanti, who marks. Has it for the Kangaroos. Steps off his line. He's in trouble now. Lindsay got him. He moved back inboard, was told to play on immediately. The umpire called it. Lindsay with the free kick. Short to Kelly towards Waterman. 4:51 out from goal. He's marked. And he's pointing to the big sticks. And as we've seen in the past, he's got the ability to make the distance. This will be a kick of about 57 metres. He flushed one from this distance at Adelaide Oval earlier this year against Port. Fiona's in the stadium, missing the crowd sing-along for Waterman's song. Says it's an away game, so we're not getting it. Indeed not. No songs for West Coast, as it's a North Melbourne home game. Here goes Jake Waterman from 55. He sent it a long way. It won't quite have the carry. He dropped 2 metres in front of the goal line and punched through by Sherry for another minor score. 5-6-36 the Eagles, 2-5-17 the Kangaroos, 11 gone in the second. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
Daniel brought the ball back in quickly, then to Zerha up to the southern wing. Larky in front, can't mark. West Coast have the numbers at ground level. Lindsay will sizzle the pass back inside 50, but Zerha, now playing behind the ball, takes the intercept mark at right half back for North Melbourne. Just need to calm things down here, North. Zerha back out the southern side. Larkey on his knees slides out and takes the mark. Defensive side of the wing for North. Comes inboard with a short pass to Simpkin. Still in their defensive half here, the Kangaroos. Simpkin will go right back into his defensive 50 to Griffin Logue. And the switch is on. Logue out to Comben on the northern side. Breaks defensive 50 and kicks it long and high up the northern wing. Sherry in good position. Herbert does well. Size mismatch. Got a fist to it. Blamires, though. Rose, front centre. Handball to Trembath. Another forward handball to Sheasel. Now Curtis. From left half forward. Pops up a little pass into the forward pocket. And the mark is taken by Constanti. Well worked by North Melbourne.
It was very good play by North. They created the loose man by switching play and took it the length of the ground.
Jacob Constanti in the left forward pocket. He's going to snap around the corner from 20 metres out. And he bends it back and misses. Hits the right-hand goalpost. So another behind for North Melbourne. Boy, they needed a goal there. They're 2-6-18. West Coast 5-6-36 as Josh Lindsay brings the ball back into play.
And he moves it to Herbert, the debutant, who marks in the left back pocket. Geelong VFL best and fairest winner. Picked up in the mid-season rookie draft. Goes again towards Young, kicks towards left half back. This is Murdoch, takes a bounce and a second. Got away from Trembath. And the kick was meant for Marrick, but Stevens got there first and punches it over the boundary line for a throw-in. Left half forward for West Coast. 5-6 plays 2-6. Eagles over the Roos. 13 gone in the second term. Boundary umpire spins it back into play. Williams got there first. Won it down against Goad. Hewitt couldn't pick it up. Stevens dives over the top. Hewitt falls on top of him. Locks the ball in. Ball up again. Here we go once more. One down by Williams, came out the side. Stevens had it, made no effort to get rid of it. Tackled by Bailey J. Gets the free kick for the Eagles. Williams kicks into the left forward pocket for West Coast. Front position low, got hands to it. Couldn't complete the mark. Duff Titler ran over the top of it. Davies Uniacke was able to gather, shared it with Sheasel, then got it to Stevens. Hand pass again here to Simpkin. Right half back. Hard up against the boundary for the Kangaroos. And he'll head down the line. He wants Darling. Front position couldn't mark. An interesting hand pass over the left shoulder. They'll mop it up here through Bazzo. And there's Herbert showing some skills.
Sold a bit of candy, Herbert, then took a bounce. His kick wasn't great to Marrick, but he gets it back. Takes another bounce, Herbert. Now through the attacking side of the centre square. Kicks out wanting Johnston. Just lost track of the ball. Zerha run down by Johnston. Turns it over. The handball went straight to Waterman, who snaps on goal from 20 out and hits the post. Great forward pressure from Harvey Johnston to run down Zerha. Waterman couldn't finish the work. West Coast 5-7-37. North Melbourne 2-6-18 as North now bring the ball back in. Out the northern side. Herbert gets in front of Curtis. Curtis does well. A little backhand tap to Larkey. Now back to Curtis by hand. Darling's got free deep inside the forward 50, but the kick from Paul Curtis was a poor one. It bounced in front of Jack Darling and Rhett Baslow. Darling wants deliberate. He's screaming at the umpire. The umpire says no, it's going to be a boundary throw-in in the left forward pocket from North Melbourne. They went coast to coast from the kick-in, but they couldn't make it count.
Ball back into play. Front position there was Williams. One down though by Goad. Back towards the boundary line.
But that was a terrible kick by Paul Curtis.
Wasn't it?
At this level, he's got an open forward sitting there. He's just got to be better than that.
Rowan 30 out from North's attacking goal. The Farmer Freeway into Perth Stadium. Goad front position. Got it down. Ooh, crunching hit. Constanti went up and just ran into the side of Allen. Out the back to Darling. He's wrapped up by Marrick. North Melbourne forward. And Darling will climb up off the deck and throw the ball back to the umpire. Ball up left forward pocket for North. Another ruck with a telling tap. Allen tried to go through, and this time Darling returns the favour. Dives on top of him and will ball it up. Here we go. Emerges from this. Bailey J just slaps it away. Simpkin couldn't quite get there. Johnston does. It's held to him by Blamires. Ball up again Daniel says, hi team, spot on. Nobody has any idea what's going on with the freeze, but there's a bit going off the ball. How did Hamish Davies get concussion 60 metres from the play? Good question. Trying to tell you as Simpkin looks to take it away, but hand pass was awry. Trying to get onto it again was Johnston. Big pack emerging with it. Sheasel now to Blamires, kicks towards Curtis. Trembath in the mix, and the ball's over the boundary line again for a throw-in. Good pressure coming from West Coast. 5-7-37 to 2-6-18. Daniel also says there's no such word as snuck. It's in the dictionary, Daniel. It's the verb as in move stealthily.
I'm blaming the umpires wearing blue for this game being messy. It's tossed back in on the paint of 50 at half forward for North Melbourne. Sheasel, can he add a bit of class? He kicks from 49 and misses to the near side. Another behind for North Melbourne. That's 2-7-19. The home side here at Perth Stadium today. West Coast are 5-7-37 and leading by 18 points.
A past participle and simple past tense of sneak for those who get excited about this sort of stuff. Kick beyond defensive 50. The Eagles came down towards Sheasel. Hand pass was meant for Blamires. Couldn't take it. Gathered by Cole and wrapped up by McDonald and tackled strongly over the boundary line. A little bit of extras in that.
I've got an answer for the concussion. Looks like Paul Curtis tackle, pin the arms, head hit the ground. So one to look at throughout the week.
That was in that chain of hand passes a long time ago, and they were trying to bring it out of defensive 50. North through McDonald, had it, got it to Goad, sends it long, big pack up inside forward 50. Great mark, front position, Darling. That was strong. Both hands to it, surrounded by players. Was able to pluck out the mark. He's 30 from goal. He'll start in line with the left hand behind post.
Well, they've been peppering the last few minutes. North Melbourne repeat entries, playing it in their forward half of the ground. Deserve a bit of reward for effort on the scoreboard now.
Here he comes, Jack Darling, already with one this afternoon. North desperately need this. Darling's on his way in, and he delivers for the Kangaroos. Much needed goal. His second. North have got their third. West Coast lead cut back to 12 points. The Eagles are 5-7-37. North 3-7-25. 19 gone in the second term. Saturday footy on ABC Sport, ABC Local Radio, Sport Digital and ABC Listen. Clint Wilden alongside Akash Vodadar, our experts, Cara Antonio and Chris Waterman.
They just had a good 5 minutes there, North. Just really forced the ball down the ground, and again, a bit like the first quarter, they're unlucky not to get more than just the one goal. They had a few good easy shots at it and didn't hit the scoreboard, and they're still finding themselves a couple of goals down, but it's just brought the game back into a stalemate. 2 goals is not enough for West Coast. They need to grab back momentum.
Back in the middle of the ground, Goad and Duff Tytler. Goad with the tap. David Uniacke has it knocked out of his hands. Now gathered by Hewitt. Slips over. Goad with the tackle on him. Just went a little bit too high. A little bit over enthusiastic from the debutant. Hewitt takes the free kick. Pops it out in front of Tyler Young on the northern wing. Young kicks up towards right half forward. Marrick coming in from the side. Shanahan couldn't mark. And grabbed by Hoff, and he's grabbed straight away by Davies Uniacke. So ball up. Right half forward for West Coast, 60 metres out from their goal. Duff Tytler and Goad in the ruck. The ball tapped out in the direction of Reid. He misses it. Sheasel picks it up. Quick hands to Goad. High snap up the wing. Bazzo in best position. He can't mark. Ball bounces over him. Handballs backwards now. Puts Duggan under pressure. Dersma did well. Got it to Zerha. Zerha kicks long. Vacant forward 50 for North Melbourne, and the ball just trickles out of bounds for a throw-in in the right forward pocket for North Melbourne.
It was a great second effort by Rhett Bazzo. Once he lost the ball, he just really chased and put pressure on that kick.
Marks inside forward 50. Fascinating. 8-1 to North Melbourne at the moment. Still West Coast who lead by 12 points. Thrown in. They've won it down. Non-controlling umpires spotted a free kick going North Melbourne's way. It's coming back here to Wardlaw.
This will be his first kick of the game. He's only on the 2 handballs.
I'm waiting to see what that was for, and not getting any help from the replays at the moment. Wardlaw will put boots of ball from about 40 metres out. We'll start at a 45-degree angle to the right. This will make it interesting. Wardlaw on his way in. Goal umpire has to do a fair bit of work. It floats across the face. It misses to the left. Minor score, 3-8-26 North, 5-7-37 West Coast. 21 gone in the second term.
Starcevic with the kick in, finds Herbert at right half back, tries to step around Darling, then does so, takes a bounce, shows him a clean pair of heels with a nice pass at the outside of the boot to Elijah Hewitt with the freshly shaved head. First game since round 8 for Hewitt. He kicks up towards right half forward. Williams nudged out of the contest. Yo flew, couldn't bring it down. Duff Tytler, that's a nice spin move. Handballs inside forward 50. Cole missed it. Blamires did it. Wins the ball, handballs it to Wardlaw. Kicks out towards right half back. Finds Dersma, who goes back into defensive 50 to Lowe. They'll bring it back towards the northern side now through Stevens. Stevens kicks and finds Constanti on the northern wing. Duff Tytler came late. Constanti marked it. Mark or free kick either way. North Melbourne ball. They trail by 11 points. Constanti from the defensive side of the wing. Kicks up towards left half forward. Trembath flies. Young with the fist. No. Free kick. High contact. Free kick going to Cooper Trembath. That is the 31st free kick of this match. Trembath plays on. Kicks into the left forward pocket. It's all Eagles back there. Cooper Duff Tytler takes the intercept mark in the right back pocket and just goes short to right half back where he finds Tyler Young. Young plays on. Kicks up towards Williams in a wrestle with Comben in front of the interchange gates, and the ball ricochets off the boots of McDonald, so it's a free kick West Coast. Murdoch takes it quickly, sees a free man in Yo up at right half forward. Parker did well to get in the way and bring it to ground, and McKercher mops up, kicks towards Curtis. That's a strong mark on the chest in front of Murdoch. Handball now to McKercher, who kept running. Kicks North Melbourne up towards the wing where Zerha marks on the logo, spins, goes, kicks towards Darling, who takes the mark at full forward, 25 metres out directly in front. Jack Darling can go back and kick for his third goal. That was a great kick inside 50 from Cam Zerha.
Much better inside 50 than the Paul Curtis one. Darling just got out the back. Starcevic almost got a hand on it. Really nice set play from turnover from their back half, North Melbourne.
532 goals as a West Coast Eagle in 298 games. Now going for his third as a Roo today. Jack Darling comes in from 25 out, pops it over the goal umpire's hat. That's his third. North get a couple in a row, and they bring the margin back to just 5 points. North Melbourne 4-8-38, West Coast 5-7-37. Played 24 minutes here in the second quarter in Perth Stadium. This is Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
Yeah, well, I can tell you now that Jobe Shanahan would love to get his hands on a mark and just change his own momentum. But West Coast have been pretty poor at ground balls. They've just had a lot go through their hands at crucial stages. And North have pounced on it. They've been good at ground level. Just haven't hit the scoreboard properly. They've missed too many easy shots. But, geez, momentum shift since that goal was turned into a point and it came off the knee.
It certainly has. Cash set, putting the last two. Williams got it down. Reid tried to gather. The hand pass out. Williams went back to mop up. Under pressure, gave it to Kelly. Did well to get a hand pass away to Yo. Dersma almost got him. Kick towards half forward for the Eagles. Turned over here. North have got it. McKercher looks to cut his way through. Hand pass to Blamires. Back to McKercher. Kicks to the outer side. Wardlaw, uncontested mark. Runs forward of the wing, but turns it over. He wanted Spargo, had too much on the kick, went over his head. Young was there, marks defensively. Goes back to Kelly, who'd run all the way back into the left back pocket. Switches play for the Eagles. Now with Duggan. Duggan stabs it short. This is the debutant in Herbert. Running by, got it on to Starcevic. Lovely kick. Out towards Johnson, marks in front of the interchange gates. Beautifully weighted. Looks to follow up again, Starcevic. That was ignored. Johnson, sold some candy. Trembath leapt in the air, walked around him. Into the right forward pocket. Punch came from the side. Lowe got a fist to it. Ending up on the deck was Sherry. He'll climb up off the turf with the ball over the boundary line for a throw-in. deep in the right forward pocket here for the Eagles. 26 gone in the second term. The Eagles still lead the Roos by 5.
Much quieter quarter from Harley Reid. Just the 2 disposals in this quarter. Sherry and Williams. Williams with the tap. Straight to Wardlaw. Who clears defence for North Melbourne. Up towards the wing. Starcevic ends up with the ball on his chest, and he's tackled strongly by Sheasel, and it'll be a ball up. Ball went through many sets of hands. No mark there to Starcevic. I think he was almost surprised that the ball ended up in his lap. The umpire will ball it up. Just on the northern edge of the centre square, attacking side for West Coast. Ball comes to Marek from the stoppage. He handles back to Bailey Williams, who just tumbles the ball inside forward 50. Out after it is Duff Tytler. The ball bounces off his chest. Bit of pressure coming from Charlie Comben. Sees the ball out over the boundary line, and it'll be thrown in just inside forward 50 for West Coast. Now 45 metres around from their goal.
Earlier today, Melbourne by 45 over the Bombers. Umpire spotted a free kick from the restart, from the throw-in. Which way is it going here? Coming back here to the Kangaroos. And
Wardlaw.
Been held off the football. More times he's received a free kick for that today. Kicks beyond defensive 50. That is a good kick. Beautifully weighted to Cooper Harvey. He's got it at left half back, and we'll pop it over the top. Calling for it, Davies Uniacke. Had his arms chopped by Harley Reid. The home, well, they're not home fans today. The Eagles fans won't like it. The kick is down the line, and it's over the boundary line after the free kick to Davies Uniacke. So the lasso rule in play, and Duggan takes it for the Eagles from right half back, stabs it inboard to Hoff, who marks. Still West Coast lead, 5 points, 28 gone, second turn.
Brady Hoff goes long up towards right half forward. North Melbourne have the numbers here. Comben does well, keeps Duff Tytler out of the contest, allowing Parker to mark. Chisels the ball in on the 45 to Sheasel. Handball to Wardlaw. Switch of play now for North Melbourne. They've got numbers on the outer side. This is Blamires has it on the southern wing. Daniel runs for him, so does Dersma. Blamires goes for a bit of a run and kicks up towards left half forward to the Larkey and Young contest. Larkey does well. Juggles the mark down in front of Tyler Young. Still 65 from home. The North Melbourne skipper looking for an option inside 50. Pops it up towards Darling and Starcevic. Darling in front. Earns himself the free kick. He's starting to cause some problems here for West Coast. Is their 2018 Premiership player in Jack Darling. He'll go back and have a shot for his 4th goal of the afternoon. He'll kick from 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle to the right.
Yeah, just thought West Coast needed... They could have had a third man up then just to appease Stars. He was just got caught up in a wrestling match with Jack. Just needed someone to say, oh, I've got it, I'm coming over the top.
To put North Melbourne back in front. Jack Darling kicks. And it's home. The Roos are back in front, and Jack Darling has 4. He's kicked the last 3 of the game. And an Eagles Premiership hero returns home to cause them some pain. North Melbourne, 5-8-38. Lead West Coast, 5-7-37. 30 minutes gone in the second term. Let's head downstairs. Bridget Lacey.
Yeah, West Coast, Duff Tytler just having a chat to the doctor and the physios now. He just came to the bench looking a little bit sore. It looks like possibly a right leg issue, but I'll keep an eye on it.
We spoke about it last week, Muddy. The moment a defender puts their arms around a forward, they've been called all year for holding. Jack Darling, 4 goals before half-time. Could be a big bag of goals today for him.
It's his best return wearing the blue and white. Never kicked 4 goals before as a Kangaroo, Jack Darling. The Eagles will get the clearance from the restart. Kelly will kick inside forward 50. Good mark, Harvey. Did really well. Players surging by him. His hands and eyes on the footy. Completed the grab. And chip beyond defensive 50. Moves it to Simpkin, who marks. Red Sherrod in his right hand. Just twirls it around a couple of times. Daniel runs behind him. Receives the hand pass and kicks to Stevens, who marks. About 2 metres in from the boundary between left half back and centre wing. North are in front by a point. 5-8 plays 5-7. 31 gone in the second term. Kick long towards left half forward. Bailey J. Williams attacked the football and drags it in. Front position, good mark. Moves it out to Harley Reid. Right in front of the Eagles interchange gates. In the shadows of half-time, can the Eagles find a way to get back in front? Harley Reid will kick high and long towards right half forward. No one can complete the mark. Parker got there. Got a hand pass to no one in particular. Came out the side. Harvey Johnson had it. Umpire spotted a free kick. It's a holding decision going the way of North Melbourne. It's going to be taken here by McDonald. He'll stand just inside his defensive 50. North would be desperate to hang on to this lead. Go into half-time. 1 point to the good. Oh, Harley tried to go very early. Up before acceptances. Attempted massive mark, but nowhere near the footy. Sherry gets the free kick. Gave it on to McDonald. Kicks the Kangaroos towards half-forward. Curtis couldn't mark. Ball's there for Yo, and that is half-time. And the Kangaroos, who at one stage were trailing by around 18 points after the Eagles had kicked 5 unanswered goals, they've been able to hit back, and they now lead at half-time by a point, 5-8-38 to 5-7-37. The MC is loud here today. No, Adrian from Inglewood in the stadium also sending his text saying that perhaps it's a little bit louder than it needs to be. Remember on the footy forum, we've had no end of people saying they just want to blow our ears out. It seems to be the modern day thing. Anyway, Kangaroos 5-8-38 to the Eagles 5-7-37. Let's have a look at the goal kickers for you. It's been an absolute day out for Jack Darling. 4 goals, his best ever haul as a Kangaroo so far. The other goal kicker, Nick Larkey. While for the West Coast Eagles, 2 to Waterman, singles to Baker, to Reid and to Hoff. It was a 5-point lead to the Eagles at quarter time. It is a 1-point lead to North at half time. Melbourne by 45 points earlier today over the Bombers. But let's get the thoughts of our experts here. Saturday footy on ABC Sports. Cara Antonio and Chris Waterman.
Well, it's a funny sort of game. West Coast looked like they were about to run away with it, and the goal that got changed back to a point, it would have been 6 goals to 2, and then they changed it back to a point, remained 5 goals to 2, and it's 5 goals apiece at half time. Jack Darling stood up in that last 7 or 8 minutes. But West Coast had real ascendancy in that first part, and then North looked like, we did say at that point in time that North were at a turning point right here, and they turned back and got themselves into the game. They just used the ball better. I think West Coast, the 2-stop start. When they get to the wing, they stop. They don't play flow-on footy. They don't give it to that runner so you can catch out the defence of North Melbourne. And when you stop, you let the others get behind the ball, and it just becomes dump kicks. And right now, they haven't got a marking forward line because Shanahan and Duff Tyler aren't strong enough and do not take pack marks. So they need to run the ball, West Coast, and get them on the rebound, because I reckon North are they're all duck and no dinner. When they go, they go. If you turn it over and go back quick on them, they're out of place. But it's game on. We didn't think it was going to be one for the highlights reel. It certainly won't be, but it's a point the difference. It's 2 teams trying to work their way back up the ladder. Cara.
Yeah, you're right, Muddy. I thought the first 5 minutes, West Coast came out of the blocks again, and you're right, that overturn of a goal into a point really changed momentum. North Melbourne were able to play the game in their half of the ground and own field position. They set up really well. That +1 was working for them, and you're right, the forward 50 method and that connection piece for West Coast is what let them down. They were +6 for inside 50s that quarter, West Coast, so had more than enough opportunity but just played it into the defenders of North Melbourne's hands. Scored 2 goals 3 to North Melbourne's 3 goals 3. For me, North Melbourne's pressure's lifted, +11 tackles, and +8 marks inside forward 50, and that's the difference at the moment. They're able to turn the ball over in real dangerous positions across the ground, link up with their forwards and clunk a few marks inside forward 50, and Jack Darling at the moment is the difference in the game with the 4 goals. So be interesting to see what both coaches do in this second half to I suppose, get a bit more momentum swinging their way, and West Coast had their opportunities, so probably will be kicking themselves at half-time.
Good text rolling in, and we'll get through a few more after the news update. But Daniel says, is this a world record pace for free kicks? Well, unfortunately, it's going to be always hard to get world record pace for free kicks, but only because the world record, from what I can find out, is 132 back in 1977 between Essendon and South Melbourne. So that's a few free kicks to have to worry about. What do we got? First quarter 19, second quarter 18. So, yeah, 37. We're a long way from that, but it's still quite a lot. So it's a valid point being raised by Daniel there. West Coast's biggest lead, by the way, officially was 19 points at the 11-minute mark of the second term. And then, of course, North Melbourne, as we said, stormed back to take the lead by 1 point at quarter time. If you want to get in touch with us, I'll read out a heap more of your text messages in just a moment. The number, as always, 0437 774 774. If you want to speak to any of us, make a point, to Cara Antonio, to Chris Waterman, or just get something off your chest, 0437 774 774. Half-time at North Melbourne's home game in Perth, and it's the Kangaroos who lead by a point. Let's pause here on ABC Local Radio, Sport Digital, and on ABC Listen, and get the latest from the ABC Newsroom.
Hello, this is ABC News with David Rowlands. Multiple media outlets in the United States are reporting that a senior Trump administration official is saying that the US is 80 to 85% confident of signing a memorandum of understanding with Iran in the next few days on ending their months-long war. Larry Buttrose has the latest.
Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi also says an MOU between the two countries could be just days away. In an interview with Iranian state-run TV, he says once finalised, the MOU will be signed digitally by both sides in their respective countries and then announced. He says following the potential signing, the parties will begin the second stage of negotiations, scheduled within a 60-day period, to reach a final agreement, focusing mainly on Iran's nuclear program and sanctions removal. Mr. Araghchi has written on X, a deal has never been closer, and his post was reshared by US President Donald Trump.
Shadow Federal Treasurer Tim Wilson says he's not surprised that One Nation leader Pauline Hanson attracts extremists to her party, but says it's still concerning. A neo-Nazi was detained by police outside a One Nation event in Melbourne last night, who claimed to support Senator Hanson and called her the Great White Hope. Mr. Wilson says One Nation has a history of issues with extremists in its ranks.
Pauline has admitted this herself. She has attracted extremists into her ranks that she's increasingly claiming she's having trouble dealing with. It doesn't surprise me at all that there are more extremists attracted to her because she's not focused on how we take the country united forward together.
Witnesses have described hearing a chilling scream at a popular beach in Sydney's eastern suburbs where a swimmer was bitten by a shark. An off-duty lifeguard pulled the 35-year-old from the water at Coogee before she was treated for serious arm and leg injuries. She's been taken to hospital in a critical condition. ABC journalist Patrick Stack was at the beach with his toddler at the time. He says he didn't think much of the commotion until the shark alarm rang out.
As people sort of rushed from the water, you could see a gentleman on a sort of surf rescue boat paddling in reverse, trying to get a woman to shore. And he was eventually assisted by another gentleman on a big paddleboard and saw the woman being pulled from the water, looking in serious distress.
Staying in Sydney, where police are urging waterfront residents and anyone who was on the Parramatta River this morning to come forward as a desperate search continues for a missing 7-year-old girl. The child is believed to have been on a hired boat with her father, who was found dead in the water at Concord shortly before midday local time. Police say a passerby spotted the man in the water and called 000. Superintendent Christine McDonald says a multi-agency search operation is now focused on finding the girl.
Today at 12:30 p.m, police received a call from a friend of the man to say that he had concerns for the child's welfare and the man's welfare. Unfortunately, police had located that man deceased just before 11:45 a.m.
Police say they're keeping an open mind as they investigate how the man entered the water. And a critical incident investigation has been launched after a man was seriously injured during an arrest on the central coast of New South Wales. Police say the 23-year-old assaulted officers and paramedics several times while being taken into custody at a unit in Toukley on Monday. He was taken to hospital with significant injuries and his condition worsened later in the week. Chief Minister Andrew Barr says the Canberra Liberals are putting ideology before good policy in calling to recriminalise methamphetamines. Lish Fayer has the story.
The ACT became the first jurisdiction to decriminalise small quantities of illicit drugs, like methamphetamines, 3 years ago. Liberals leader Mark Parton believes that's led to a deterioration of health and public safety. In a budget reply speech yesterday, he singled out meth for recriminalisation, saying it destroys lives and fuels violence. But the Chief Minister says that would be a return to a failed approach that pushed vulnerable people away from the help they need. He also criticised Mr Parton's spending promises, saying 50-cent transport fares don't stack up.
And it's the final night of Sydney's annual light festival, Vivid. About 50,000 people are expected at the event this evening as it comes to a close. Destination New South Wales says numbers this year are tracking broadly in line with 2025. Last year, around 2.5 million people attended the festival. This is ABC News.
A tray of cocktails floated at us through the twilight. Who was this Gatsby fella?
A jazz-soaked reimagining of The Great Gatsby.
That's the best thing a girl can be in this world. A beautiful little fool.
Search for Gatsby in Harlem on ABC Listen.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Yo got knocked out of his grasp. Melbourne will end up with it. Davies Uniacke. Oh, Yo went and got him. Wrapped him up, took him to ground. Just took too long then. Davies Uniacke free kick the West Coast at left half forward. Rolls onto his right, kicks inside the attacking 50. Big numbers up at the back. Waterman kicks the Eagles fourth. He was at left fullback. It all opened up for him and he ran it through.
Kelly takes it and goes. Kicks out to Milan Murdoch at left half forward. Still 60 out from goal. Murdoch wheels around onto that left foot now. Punches it low into the pocket and he finds Waterman on his own. Jake Waterman takes the mark deep in the left forward pocket. Hard up against the boundary line. Jake Waterman plays on now. Snaps around the corner and slots it. He's kicked the last two of the game, Jake Waterman. 5 in a row now for West Coast.
North through McDonald. Haddock got it to go. Sends it long. Big pack up inside forward 50. Great mark front position, Darling. That was strong. He's 30 from goal. He'll start in line with the left hand behind post. Here he comes, Jack Darling. Already with one this afternoon. North desperately need this. Darling's on his way in and he delivers for the Kangaroos.
Serhart marks on the logo, spins, goes, kicks towards Darling, who takes the mark at full forward, 25 metres out directly in front. Now going for his third as a Roo today. Jack Darling comes in from 25 out, pops it over the goal umpire's hat. That's his third. The North Melbourne skipper looking for an option inside 50. Pops it up towards Darling and Starcevic. Darling in front, earns himself the free kick. He'll kick from 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle to the right. Jack Darling kicks, and it's home. The Roos are back in front, and Jack Darling has 4.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
Welcome back to Perth Stadium, where North Melbourne lead West Coast by a point. It is a North Melbourne home game officially, one of the games, 2 games each year that the Kangaroos sell to WA. They got belted down in Bunbury by 124 points last weekend by Fremantle, putting in a much better display, albeit against, obviously, far less damaging opponent in West Coast. It is 14th versus 16th. North chasing a 6th win of the season. The Eagles are 5th. North in front by a point at half-time. Before we continue on with analysis of this game, the match review panel has handed down its findings from last night's game. There's just one to bring you up to date with. Normally I wouldn't even worry too much about it. Daniel Rioli, careless contact with an umpire, sanction of $1,500 down to $1,000 if he takes an early plea. But it's a bit bigger than that for the Gold Coast Suns, because that's the club's 5th umpire contact offence for the year. which could leave Gold Coast at a risk of a $50,000 fine, which for the cynical amongst us would be basically the AFL who prop up the Gold Coast financially, then fining themselves and then putting it back in their own pocket. Nonetheless, the AFL did tell clubs earlier this year it can fine them up to as much as $50,000 if they accrue a handful of sanctions for such conduct. So Daniel Rioli, fifth time the Suns have been on the wrong end of that careless contact with an umpire, fined $1,500 down to $1,000 with an early plea. Will the AFL decide to do anything more? That will be intriguing to see. A couple of text messages, as always, we'd love to go through. If you want to get in touch with us, question again about the most number of free kicks awarded from one of our correspondents. When it was set, were there one or two umpires? Well, if it's correct, and I say if it's correct, that it was 132 frees, the record back in 1977, Essendon versus South Melbourne. That was in the era of two umpires. So one umpire up until 1976 from memory and two umpires there on out. So two umpires for the 132 free kicks for the Bombers versus South. That's what I've been able to find. Anyway, searching around. Deanne in Dalilup, dedicated blue bagger. I agree with the other listeners. After the pleasant, quiet announcers at Thursday and Friday night games, it's a shame to have it ruined in our home state. They've been extra loud today. Extra loud, which I know is a constant challenge. Peak sneak from a couple of other people. That was very good. Again, someone else saying that snuck's not a word. It is a word. I looked it up before I used it, I promise. Eugene from SA, this is one of those controversial ones, and I like chatting about it. The AFL need to stop selling off home games. If North want to be serious about their future, they can't be giving away winnable games. That's from Eugene. The problem is, if North want to be serious about their future, they also need to keep the door open. And when you've got an opportunity to take $2.5 million per year from two games in another state, and you are a club that is heavily financially backed by the AFL, I think it's an interesting challenge. The argument put forward, and I think it's actually more fair to say, what advantage does it give the WA clubs? Now, I think Bunbury gives the WA clubs absolutely no advantage. For heaven's sake, it's an hour further away from Perth than Geelong is, and no one thinks travelling down the highway to Geelong is a home game for any of the Melbourne-based clubs. This is a touch more problematic, but again, you've got all these clubs putting their hand out. Credit to North Melbourne, who rather than just having a sook for more funding, actually decided to go out and seek some themselves. There's, 35, 36,000 in today. I reckon, what would their crowd be for North Melbourne and West Coast back in the Docklands? 16, 17?
Yeah, it'd be under 20.
It was 16 and a bit for Gold Coast last time they played at home.
Wouldn't get 20,000, I don't think.
And not only that, as we also know, every single corporate has been sold by North Melbourne here today. There's 80-something corporate boxes, and every single one of them was sold. Look, I know it all comes down to money, and there is an understandable compromise in the fixture, but the fixture has compromises everywhere, and I never see anyone blowing up about Geelong taking a home game to the home ground of Collingwood, which they do every single year. Why do they do that? Cash, because Collingwood bring 40,000 of their own fans in there. The fixture is compromised. Is it more or less compromised by this? That's an interesting argument to have. Anyway, let us continue on with this game. Can North hang on? Because goodness me, it looked like West Coast were going to run away with this game. It was getting a bit ominous for those in blue and white. They've hit back and they lead. Chris Waterman, Cara Antonio, give us your thoughts ahead of it, Cash, running through the stats for us.
Well, there's one thing that does stand out. If Ruben Jimby was playing, he'd be on Jack Darling more than likely at this stage of the game. So that's proving to be a big out for West Coast. That extra run and carry and dash through the midfield that Will Dersman's been providing is definitely not there. And that just, what they didn't have last week, North, that dogged, never-say-die attitude is just there with them today. And on the back of what they dished up last week, they are absolutely determined to leave Perth with 4 points today. There's no question about that. And West Coast need to understand that. If they're going to win this game, it's an arm wrestle, it's a scrap and a fight, and you just got to absolutely argue the toss for every possession you're getting today. Doesn't matter what. You're not going to get nothing easy.
I'd love to see West Coast come out in this third and start how they started the fourth quarter last week, Muddy, because they were outstanding in that last quarter, and that's, I suppose, the heights that we know that they can play at. So that would be my challenge for West Coast, to match the pressure and go a step above North Melbourne this half.
Here are some of the numbers from the first half. So North Melbourne lead the clearances 24-22. The inside 50s are also in North Melbourne's favour, 25-24. And we've been talking a lot about the free kicks. There's been 37 paid in the first half of football. West Coast with 17, North Melbourne with 20. Looking at some of the individual ball winners, Harry Sheasel leads all on the ground with 16. Tom Myers has 15. Luke Parker and Dylan Stevens 11 apiece for North. And for West Coast, Tim Kelly has 15 disposals. Harley Reid 13 and Bailey Williams with 11.
Shout out to Gazza the truckie listening in. Great call, great special comments from both the champions. Gazza, good you can be with us. Shout out to all the truckies as well, keeping the nation moving. They are so indebted to what they do, particularly for those of us on this side of the country. Second half about to get underway. It's interesting to see this ground bathed in blue and white. There's plenty of blue and yellow as well. It's North who lead by a point. Here's a cash photo.
Second half underway. Bailey Williams with the tap behind himself, looking for Elijah Hewitt. Hewitt on hands and knees, knocks the ball out towards Reid. Plenty of players around this ball, and we will have a ball up. Still inside the centre square. Williams and Sherry tangle. No clear winner out of the hit out. Hewitt gathers, handballs back to Duggan. He's forced on his right foot. And as expected, on his non-dominant side, the result isn't great. It's out of bounds. It'll be a North Melbourne free kick on the southern wing. Daniel takes it quickly, chips the ball back to Parker, who then spears the ball up to the attacking side of the wing to Simpkin. Daniel continues to run. Handball goes outside to him. He's now forced to come back inboard, Caleb Daniel. Kicks North Melbourne inside forward 50. Darling! Oh, he's done it again, Jack. He was 3 deep in the pack. He rose high, took a couple of bodies with him, and juggled the mark down, did Jack Darling. He can go back and have a shot for his 5th goal. The 34-year-old 2018 Premiership player with West Coast. He'll kick from just inside 50, slightly worse than a 45-degree angle to the left.
This was the match-up on Duggo that was worrying in the first quarter.
He kicked the last 3 of the first half. To start the second half, Jack Darling has missed. Gave him the big build-up, missed to the near side. Minor score to the Roos. They extend that lead out to 2 points. 5-9-39 to West Coast, 5-7-37.
Mitch Turner's supposed to be having a day off. G'day, Mitch. Sends us a text, though. This is already Darling's best haul since round 20, 2022, when he kicked 6 for the Eagles against the Suns. There's a holding decision here at right half forward for the Kangaroos. It's gone the way of Comben. He elects to play on by hand to Sheasel. Wasn't a great hand pass. Sheasel has to work his way back onto his left foot. He'll kick inside forward 50. That is a great grab attacking the football. Young in front of Larkey. The 220s battling it out. Starts for West Coast and sends it all the way back to Bazzo at fullback. Step left, then right. Now goes on a bit of a run. Alongside Trembath, he kicks to the outer side. Murdoch flew, couldn't mark. Davies Uniacke got it down. Gave it to a fellow Kangaroo in Daniel. That's a lovely foot pass, and he finds Spargo hard up against the boundary at left half forward. Too far out to score himself. He works his way onto his right, stabs it inside forward 50. Darling underneath it. Spoil came from Duggan. Ball tumbles across the boundary line. It's a throw-in deep in the left forward pocket. Inside forward 50 again for the Kangaroos. They lead by 2 points. 3 gone, third term.
Just changed Starcevich onto Jack Darling now.
From the throw-in, Williams gets in front. Simpkin first to it at ground level. Wrestles with Williams, keeps the ball in Simpkin, then slaps it inside forward 50 looking for Curtis. That's the decision here from the umpire. No, there is a free kick. Must have tapped it into the foot of an Eagle. It's a free kick to Simpkin. At left half forward, wheels inside 50, goes long towards the goal square. Trembath, big fly from the side. Looks like Jack Darling again coming in there.
Goal.
And it's a goal.
Goal.
Well, what's happened here? I've missed that. Darling came flying in from the side. Does it come off his boot, or is it Trembath who's gathered it and kicked the goal?
I think it's Darling.
They've given it to Darling.
But there is an absolute, there's a rumble on in the goal square would be the best way to describe it. So Darling has hit the deck and somehow it has bobbled its way across the line. And I reckon actually first time you're right, it is Trembath. It's hit the bottom of Trembath's left leg.
Did he touch it though before it went over?
He was reaching for it with his hand, Cooper Trembath. It's come off his foot.
No, that's a goal off Trembath.
That is an accident.
Absolutely it is.
So Trembath with the accidental goal. North Melbourne 6-9-45. Now lead by 8 points. West Coast 5-7-37.
Well, I wasn't expecting that. Real muddle in the goal square. North, they get the goal and they get the clearance. Simpkins sweeps it forward to Blamires. Now to Davies-Uniacke. Cut his way through the Eagles' defence. Kick towards full forward. No mark taken. It's going to be kept in. Left forward pocket. Zerha gathered. It's been held to him. Duggan with the defensive tackle. Locks it in. Ball up the call. North again inside their forward 50. Throwing up. Tap one down by Sherry. Got it to Sheasel. Worked his way onto his right boot. Oh, my goodness. That is a wonderful goal from Harry Sheasel. Working in a phone box, was able to get a terrific snap away, and he's kicked truly for North at the city ends. Harry Sheasel puts his name on the list of goal kickers, and he's got North Melbourne 7-9-51 to the Eagles 5-7-37. North's leaders out to 14 points at the 6-minute mark of the third. Bridget Lacey's downstairs.
Yeah, I mentioned Cooper Duff-Tytler just before half-time was getting some treatment from the physios. That's continued as he's come back to the bench after half-time, but he is just coming onto the ground now, so okay to continue for the Eagles.
The Eagles just can't get their hands on the footy at the moment. Only the 8 touches for the quarter and 5 inside 50s to 0 in favour of North Melbourne.
North kicked the first 2 goals of the game. They had a hot start there, and now they've kicked the first 2 of the second half and the last 5 of the match. They lead by 14 points from the restart. Plenty of plays around the ball. Reed on hands and knees, tries to get it up to Williams. Sherry coming in, goes low, does well, picks it up. His handball missed Davies-Uniacke. Kelly, his handball went straight back to Davies-Uniacke. Has one arm pinned, got boot to ball. Ball spills out now to Tom Cole on the southern side. Kicks up towards right half forward. Murdoch scurries after it. Bounce beats him, gets to Daniel, to Parker, back to Daniel, runs through centre half back, kicks up the middle of the ground and finds a leading Zerha. Takes the mark in the centre circles, Cam Zerha, plays on. Now kicks long inside forward 50, looking for Larkey. Ball beats all comers out over the back. Bazzo with a hand to it. Spargo keeps going after it. Star switch tackled him. Handball came to Larkey. Larkey snaps and Larkey goes. Nick Larkey kicks his second. North with the first 3 of the second half. And all of a sudden their lead is out to 20 points. Well done, Charlie Spargo. Would not give that contest up. Kept going out after it. Won the football. Got the handball up to Larkey. And from 20 metres out, Nick Larkey bent the ball through for another goal for North Melbourne. North Melbourne 8-9-57. West Coast 5-7-37. 7.5 minutes gone in the third term. Bridget Lacey's downstairs.
Travis Lee coaching from the bench today, the Eagles coach. He's just taken a seat in between Elliot Yeo and Liam Baker, who are both on the bench today, I think, trying to find a solution to what's going on out there at the moment.
Caleb Daniel involved in everything at the moment. 5 touches for the quarter. He's only had 9 for the game and a couple of inside 50s and score involvements.
Domination from North, and they'll win the clearance again. Simpkin had it, bounced off Hoff, up into the air, comes towards Cole, plays on by hand, running by is Duggan, heads to the southern wing, kicks towards right half forward, Comben, well done. Out to take the mark, he's got it at left half back for North. Moves it short, uncontested mark to Stevens, hard up against the boundary. He's at left half back. North outstanding form at the moment. That was a lazy kick. Wanted Simpkin. Cole wanted down. Now it's with Harley Reid for the Eagles, and he finds Waterman. Marking 45-degree angle to the right. 49 from goal. North had kicked the last 6 goals of this game. And as Akash said, bounced out the first 3 of this half. Jake Waterman has 2 goals. Was unlucky not to get a third. Needs this for West Coast. On his way in, little hop, skip and a jump. Waterman with the set shot. Kicks going across the face. It misses through for a minor score. West Coast 5-8-38. North Melbourne still in front. 8-9-57. 9 gone, third term. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Clint Wilden alongside Akash Fodadar in commentary.
A couple of bounces from Luke Parker as he runs out of defence and kicks long up the wing in front of the interchange gate. Shanahan in front position does well. Brings the mark down in front of Larkey, who does well to impede Shanahan and force him to take his time getting up. Young runs past for the handball. Doesn't get it. Shanahan now kicks long inside forward 50 for West Coast towards the left forward pocket. Ball beats Williams and Comben out the back. Stevens the only player there. Bit of a fumble. Invites some pressure. It's a handball up to Parker now for North, to Comben, to Simpkin. Does well. Steps around Reed. Handball to Blamires. The North clear defensive 50 again. Up to the logo on the wing. Bazzo and Shanahan comes in from the side. Takes a good grab. Trembath outnumbered there 2-1. Shanahan short to Herbert. Oh, sells a bit of candy to Wardlaw. Then a bit of a bad bounce from Herbert. He chips inside 50. Gross. He almost made a mess of that, Marcus Herbert. Stepped around Wardlaw through the centre square. Took a bounce. It did come back to him on the first attempt, but he stayed calm. Got the ball back and then chipped the ball inside forward 50, and Tom Gross took the mark on his chest. 45 metres out directly in front. His first game of the season, Tom Gross. Bit of an understatement to say West Coast need this goal to break the Kangaroos' momentum.
Well, I'd prefer Herbert, pardon me saying this, to make a mess of it, but playing on, because that's why Gross got free, to catch out the opposition defence.
Here comes Tom Gross. Puts boot to ball from 45. It never looked convincing. It's offline, out to the right. A minor score for West Coast.
That is the way to attack. Go inside forward 50 quick.
West Coast 5-9-39. Trail North Melbourne 8-9-57 by 18 points.
Eagles with 2 behinds to start this second half. And Parker, right half back for North Melbourne, has put it out of bounds on the full. He's been turning the ball over a lot recently for a very good footballer. He's the other 26 in Allen, kicking it back inside forward 50. Goad came from the back, got a fist to it for North Melbourne, spills out in the direction of Blamires, got an unnecessary shove, had to be said, from Allen, but umpires giving away a free kick then over the boundary line for a throw-in. Left half forward for the Eagles. West Coast heading to the Farmer Freeway end, the left of our broadcast position in this, the third term. 12 minutes gone. Well, still with a handy lead. Throwing in. Goad won it down at the back. Simpkin tried to gather, couldn't. Getting a hand pass out of there was Cooper Duff-Tightler, and no one in particular. Ooh, Yo followed up and got Wardlaw. Absolutely crunched him. And that's where it's going to come back for a free kick. And Wardlaw needs to be careful he doesn't get it reversed. He then got up and shoved Yo over. So he's got the free kick here for the Kangaroos. Eagles fans don't like it. It was absolutely there. Wardlaw will move it on. Kicking towards the commentary wing. Out, trying to mark. Larkey couldn't. Allen at the drop. Onto Young. Lovely hand pass over the top for the Eagles. It came to Hewitt. To Yo at left half forward. 52 out from goal. Sends it deep towards full forward. Logue underneath the football. Knew that Johnston was coming, but was able to get a hand on it. Saw it across the boundary line at right full forward for a throw-in. North still in front, 13 gone, third term. They remain up by 18 points. Saturday footy on ABC Sport, ABC Local Radio, Sport Digital, and streaming on ABC Listen.
Umpire tosses the ball back in. Duff-Tightler gets in front of Sherry. Ball comes to Hewitt. He's tackled strongly by McKercher. He's not getting through that tackle. The umpire will sort it out again with the ball up. 20 metres out from the West Coast goal. Thrown aloft. Duff-Tightler taps it out in front of Hoff. Gathered here by Waterman. Tries to break the tackle. Can't. He's stripped of it. Yo went on and had the shot on goal, but the free kick is coming back to Griffin Logue, holding the ball against Jake Waterman. Lowe plays on by hand to McKercher. The left back pocket. Takes a bounce. Kicks long, looking for Trembath. Numbers with West Coast. Shanahan rises. Didn't take the mark. Now the ball's over the back and North can get through. Constanti takes a moment. Handballs to McDonald, who goes back to Stevens. Defensive side of the southern wing. Getting dark here now at Perth Stadium. Dylan Stevens, a former Swan. Hard up against the boundary, southern side. Kicks North Melbourne up to left half forward. Sherry in front, spoiled away from him. West Coast gather on ground level. Murdoch feeds the handball out wide to Shanahan. Gives it back to Milan Murdoch. The outside of the boot. Nice little chip pass finds Kelly in a bit of space. He handballs forward to Waterman. Waterman handballs up over the top. Running inside forward 50 is Tom Cole. He's up against the boundary line and a great smother from Griffin Logue. That is the goal-saving smother from the former Docker. Diving across Tom Cole's right boot, gets hands to it and knocks it out of bounds for a throw-in in the right forward pocket for West Coast.
That was outstanding from Griffin Logue. At full stretch, the Superman dive. Thrown back in again. Right full forward for the Eagles. Got a clean clearance until Stevens was able to manufacture a hand pass away. North can clear towards right half back. It came through Harvey, then to Blamires, out towards right half back. McKercher. Dersma there. Taken over the boundary line. It'll be a throw-in. Ed Allen with the tackle. Ball spun back in. Right half back for North Melbourne. Sherry front position, just slapped it forward. Big spike to Dersma. Over the top of it for the Kangaroos. Held in by Baker. Fans were appealing for holding the ball. Not to be. Ball up again, the call. Score remains North Melbourne lead by 18 points. 16 gone in the third. Restart. Hewitt, I think, has been taken to ground. It is. Wrapped up by Wardlaw again. It will take me a while to get used to the shaven head of Hewitt. Involved again as Kelly's able to get a hand pass away from the restart. It came again towards Yo, onto Baker for West Coast. Kick inside forward 50. Crunching hit from Comben in the pack. Fist to it, saw it back over the boundary line again. About 45 out from West Coast goal in the left forward pocket. The Kangaroos are 8-9-57. The Eagles are 5-9-39. 16 gone in the third.
Throw in just inside forward 50 for West Coast at left half forward. They're pressing here, the Eagles. Can't find the major opening just yet. From the restart, a huge pack of players around the ball. Bo Allen tries to crash his way through. Didn't dispose of it. Lucky not to be picked, and now he is. The ball bounced back into his lap. And Tristan Sherry sat on him and won the free kick for holding the ball. Right half back for North Melbourne. Now, Bo Allen stands the mark on the paint of 50. Sherry kicks a shocker off the side of the boot. Makes it tough for Blamires, who did well below the knees. Gathered, handball to Simpkin. Broke that tackle a little too easily, did Jai Simpkin. Handball back to Blamires. Kick up towards right half forward. Trembath at the back. Shanahan at the front. That's a good, strong grab from young Jove Shanahan. Moves the ball on quickly into his defensive 50 to Lindsay. West Coast look to switch to the southern side. Lindsay under pressure when he got the kick away. Out towards Cole. Ball spoiled away from him. And in fact, it's coming back a chop of the arms. Free kick against Dylan Stevens. Going Tom Cole's way. The umpire gets a Bronx cheer from the Eagles fans. West Coast spread it wide. Out towards right half forward now. Hoff has it. Handballs back to Duggan. Duggan just sets it up high inside West Coast forward 50. A lot of North players around this. Comben, Johnson did well to create a contest. He gave away the free kick in the end. North Melbourne win the ball back through McKercher, and he flares it wide out to right half back to Luke McDonald.
Not sure about the Johnson when he went in there. He came in from the side. I have to see that again. Whether or not it might be tunnelling against him. Comben looks a little hurt as North move it towards Sheasel. Commentary wing. Back to McKercher. Spun 360. Just got the hand pass away. Was under real pressure from Gross. Was able to work it to Blamires. Goes down the line, and Zerha backing back. Courageous mark. New players were behind him. Kicked into the right forward pocket here. Trembath waited underneath it. Got crunched legally by Duggan in that marking contest, and the ball was over the boundary line. About 45 out from North's attacking goal. Right forward pocket, city end of Perth Stadium. 8-9-57 to the Eagles 5-9-39. And it's just going to be in play here, is it? Or are they going to send it upstairs for the arc? In fact, it's going to come here again.
That is...
It's out of bounds on the full off an eagle when it was slapped back into play by North. And I know this is the rule, but
It's not in the spirit of the game.
No, it's not. Constanti will have it. He'll kick towards full forward. Spoil came down. Getting a hand pass back was Sheasel to Zerha. Davies-Uniacke, beautifully done from Daniel. Throws it on the boot, kicks towards goal, but he's missed to the right-hand side. A minus score. Now, going back to it, I know technically it's out of bounds on the full, but look, Constanti just slapped it into the leg of Bazzo, and it's ricocheted off one leg and then the other, and then gone out of bounds on the full. Really.
West Coast take it out to the southern side from the kick-in. They can't advance any further than right half back. North Melbourne lifting the intensity, lifting the pressure. They lead by 19 points. 19 and a half minutes gone in the third. Ball up at left half forward for North. Sherry and Duff Tytler. Duff Tytler did well. Got the palm down to Yo, but he's tackled immediately by two Kangaroos, and Pink for holding the ball. The free kick will come to Harry Sheasel when Elliot Yo eventually gets up and lets him get the football. The Sheasel has it. 65 from home. Wheels around and sets the ball up towards full forward now. Where's Jack Darling? The ball gets out to the back. Zerha can't mark. Baker out after it. Trembath applies the pressure on him. And the pairs see the ball out over the boundary line for a throw-in in the left forward pocket for North. Down at the city end of Perth Stadium. Lights are on. It's overcast. Andrew umpire tosses the ball back in. The Rucks wrestle. At ground level, Sherry goes back out, gets the ball. Takes two Eagles to tackle him in Kelly and Marrick. The umpire will ball it up once more. 30 out from North's goal. Sherry, uncontested in the ruck, takes it out. Gave it straight to Marrick, who tumbles a torpedo into the middle of the ground. But can only find the chest of McDonald for North Melbourne.
Donald looks to flare it out. Cooper Harvey with the mark. Sends it back in towards Daniel, and he marks in the centre square. North's lead remains 19 points, the 21-minute mark of the third. Again, North inside forward 50. Comes down here to Allen, got it for West Coast, and Herbert was tackled, just got a hand pass away before Wardlaw got him. Gave it to Baker. Kicks towards the commentary wing. Nicely marked there by Hewitt. He'll pop it short. He finds Hoff. Hoff on the wing. Just steadies for a moment. Left shoulder heavily strapped. He steers it back inboard to Marrick. He'll kick into the centre square. Here's the debutant again in 51, Marcus Herbert. Switch of play out to the southern wing. A chance for Lindsay in the bright orange boots to move it on. He'll kick deep inside the right forward pocket. He wanted Waterman. Spoil came from Logue. Spills there towards Davies-Uniacke. Had the wherewithal to go all the way back to fullback. It bounced in front of Sheasel. Gathered, got it to Stephen. Needs to get rid of it quickly. Cole got him! Took him to ground. Great free kick. And Tom Cole, the most unlikely of forwards for the past few seasons, looking to go back and have another shot. 45-degree angle to the left-hand side. He'll kick from 40 metres out.
When would we have ever said the electricity and lightning of Tom Cole just dragged his opponent down then? Probably never in his footy career, but he certainly did. That last couple of steps just got his arms around the kicker and forced a turnover. This is a vital kick for West Coast right now.
He kicked 2 goals last week, Tom Cole, and he's on his way in. Key moment in the game, and Tom Cole kicks the major. He won the free kick with a great chase down tackle to wrap up Dylan Stevens. And Tom Cole is proving as cool as you like when opportunities present. West Coast have got their 6th, 6-9-45. It's their first major of the third term. It cuts North Melbourne's lead to 13 points. The Kangaroos remain 8-10-58. We've gone 23 minutes into the third term. On ABC Local Radio, Sport Digital and streaming on ABC Listen. This is Saturday Footy on ABC Sports. Our experts, Chris Waterman and Cara Antonio.
Well, North Melbourne really had plenty of opportunity the last kind of 5 to 10 minutes to score, but West Coast defenders held up really strong and just forward half pressure. Tom Cole goal. Really well deserved and much needed.
Finishes a run of 6 unanswered goals by North Melbourne as well.
From the centre, ball up. Another ball up. No clearance there. Sheasel tries to clear. He can't. Ball comes to Goad. Tumbles a kick 15 metres forward. Constanti is over it. He's got a couple of Eagles over him. The umpire circles and says he'll ball it up. It's the attacking side of the centre square for North Melbourne. Sherry and Williams. Williams with the palm to it. Tries to take it away. And Hewitt now lays the tackle on Davies-Uniacke. Umpire throws it up quickly. Williams palms it down. Marek trying to burst his way through. Blamires with the strong tackle on him. Ball spills free to Sheasel. He tumbles the ball inside 50. Goad in front position. Can't mark. Ball at the back. Darling with the handball to Larkey, who runs into an open goal. Slides it through. It's a third for the North Melbourne skipper, Nick Larkey. Normally kicks it from set shots after a big mark. Did the roving that time. Ran to space. Darling found him with the handball, and from 20 metres out, Nick Larkey slid through his third. North Melbourne answer back immediately and put the margin back up to 19 points. And 9-10-64. West Coast 6-9-45. 25 minutes gone in the third term. Here at Perth Stadium, your experts on Saturday afternoon footy on ABC Sport. Dual premiership player Chris Waterman, All-Australian Cara Antonio.
Well, somehow that ball eked out to Harry Sheasel when Ryan Marich had it. And it ended up being a nothing kick. And it was 3-1 outs in the forward 50, and they just won the ball, won the contest.
Thrown up in the middle. One down there by Bailey J. Williams, but Simpkin got it. Broke away from the Williams attempted tackle. 2 bounces, Simpkin. He's got runners with him. McKercher showed a clean pair of heels to get away from Hewitt, then kicked inside forward 50, and it's marked there by Curtis. That was slick from North Melbourne.
Absolutely dominating clearance this quarter. North Melbourne +6 inside, and a number of those centre clearances just far too easy. Missed tackles. Been pretty unclean with ball in hand, first possession. West Coast coughed up the ball far too easy then.
Here comes Curtis. Will kick from right on 50 in line with the right hand behind post. Curtis's kick is swinging right. It misses right. Minor score. North Melbourne 9-11-65. Back to an equal game high lead of 20 points. West Coast 6-9-45. 26 and a bit gone. Third term. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Here's a cash photo up.
Starcevic goes for a run from the kick in into the right back pocket. Spots up a leading Cole at right half back, who handballs to Baker running past. Kicks now up towards Duff Tytler on the wing. Ball ricochets into the lap of Allen. He just kicks it high up towards right up forward. That's a strong grab there from Wardlaw. It's done well against Reid. And a battle of strength from two of the competition's young guns. Wardlaw at left half back for North Melbourne. Looks for an option on the southern side. Kicks it straight into Harley Reid on the mark. Murdoch comes in. He fumbles. Earns himself a free kick, though, for high contact. Not sure Harley Reid knew much about that. I think he's copped a falcon there. Meanwhile, Murdoch plays on and kicks it into the forward pocket for West Coast. Logue in front. Waterman got caught at the back, and Griffin Logue, mark or free kick. It's his ball for North Melbourne, deep inside defensive 50. Kangaroos holding on to a 20-point lead. Logue will head back out to the southern side. Wanted Darling. He got caught behind. Lindsay at ground level with the handball up to Murdoch. Does a U-turn, gets away from his opponent. Finds Cole up at right half forward. Still 60 metres from goal here, Tom Cole. Shanahan makes the lead into the pocket. That's ignored. Cole goes into the corridor to Murdoch. No closer to goal, but in a more central position. Milan Murdoch has it. Pops it up now. Oh, that's a flower bag from Murdoch. Not a great kick at all. Really poor entry, lands in the lap of Cooper Harvey, the son of a gun. He finds Jack Darling out at left half back.
Darling, 4 goals today. His most as a Kangaroo. Long way from the big sticks at the moment, mind you. Rolls onto the right boot. Kicks towards left half forward. Zerha, did he illegally get Young out of the marking contest? He did. Give him a shove. Young for the Eagles have it at right half back. Kicks to Starcevic. She'll go back inside defensive 50. Duggan has to go down low, marking just above the turf. And he'll flare it out towards Marrick, who marks. He's got it at left half back again. Stabs it inboard. Lindsay. Back towards Hewitt. In the centre square. Running by Duggan. Co-captain receives the hand pass. Sends it into the left forward pocket. Oh, Shanahan! 2 grabs at it. Only completed it when going to ground. And then Combat has pushed over Murdoch in all of that. And then he gives Harley Reid a shove for his measure. The ball's going to stay in the hands of Shanahan, and rightly so as well. That is a great grab.
Well, West Coast have been crying out for that other marker, and they moved Shanahan up the ground behind the ball. Took 2 or 3 good marks. Obviously got some confidence out of it. Back forward, this is his first mark inside 50 today.
The round 2 rising star, 19 years of age. Hands are as high as they could for the first touch. He fell over and was on his back when he was able to drag the ball back into his chest. Tighter than a 45-degree angle to the left. The ball starts out right. It comes back through the big sticks. The mark deserved a goal. And Job Shanahan does just that for West Coast. North Melbourne's lead cut back to 14 points at the half-an-hour mark of the third. The Kangaroos are 9-11-65. West Coast moved to be 7-9-51. This is Saturday Footy on ABC Sport. Our experts, dual premiership player Chris Waterman, All-Australian and former AFLW Dockers captain Cara Antonio.
Well, if they can get to three-quarter time 14 points behind, they've pulled off a miracle here, because they've been out of this game for the last 15 minutes, but North haven't been able to put them away. But that was just a good mark. Lux of Fortune landed back on his chest, but it's just what West Coast need, another marking option.
Good speed on ball though, Muddy, from the back half as well, which you've called for all game.
Plenty of noise around Perth Stadium now. Williams and go to the ruck. That's a great tackle from Williams. Yo bursts through the tackle, runs through the front edge of the centre square. A little bit of late pressure affected the kick, but it's still inside forward 50 for West Coast. In fact, the umpire's blown the whistle here, and I think he's paid holding the ball against. No, run too far.
Run too far, I think.
Oh, that's a late call.
Yeah, run too far, Elliot Yeo. Trying to turn back the clock there with a burst out of stoppage through the centre square. And a great chase from George Wardlaw to apply the pressure. So Wardlaw has the free kick. Long kick out in front of the interchange gates. Goad and Williams rise high, and Bailey Williams fist the ball out over the boundary line. It'll be tossed back in. Just alongside the interchange gates, attacking side of the broadcast wing for West Coast. They still trail North Melbourne by 14 points. Williams tries to take it out of the ruck. Wardlaw on ground level just wrestles the ball away from Reid. Handballs forward. Baker is tackled by Curtis. And the umpire will ball it up on true centre wing, broadcast side of Perth Stadium.
Thrown aloft. Both rucks had a tap. Came down to Marrick. Stolen by Reid. Got a hand pass, Clever, popped over the top. It was in the hands of Kelly as he handed it back to Harley Reid as the siren sounded for three-quarter time. North Melbourne, they go into the final change, still 14 points in front. A 5-point lead to West Coast at quarter time became a 1-point lead to North at the half. It is now a 14-point lead to North at three-quarter time. Jack Darling's got 4 goals. Nick Larkey has 3. Singles to Sheasel and to Trembath. While for the West Coast Eagles, leading the way for them, Jake Waterman with 2. Reid's got 1, so too Shanahan, Cole, Baker and Hoff. North Melbourne, they lead by 14 points. Just a little reminder though, the Women's World Cup, there's 2 World Cups going on, the football one and the Women's T20 Cricket World Cup on this evening. The Aussies in action against South Africa. 11:30 Eastern, 9:30 here in the West. You can catch it all on ABC Listen. Just push the white cricket button and also on Sport Digital. We'll turn our attention back to what's in front of us in just a moment. Can North Melbourne hang on? Their lead at three-quarter time is 14 points. Wherever you're listening, this is Saturday Footy on ABC Sport.
A young man vanishes, and and something about it doesn't sit right.
It made no sense.
I'm Rob Bergen. Join me for What Became of Jack, the new season of Unravel.
You know where my son is.
Search for the Unravel podcast on ABC Listen.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Tap one down by Sherry, got it to Sheasel, worked his way onto his right boot. Oh my goodness, that is a wonderful goal from Harry Sheasel. Working in a phone box, was able to get a terrific snap away, and he's kicked truly for North at the city end. Harry Sheasel puts his name on the list of goal kickers, and he's got North Melbourne 7.
Cam Zerha plays on, now kicks long inside forward 50, looking for Larky. Ball beats all comers out over the back. Fazzo with a hand to it. Spargo keeps going after it. Starswitch tackled him. Handball came to Larky. Larky snaps and Larky goes. Nick Larky kicks his second. North with the first 3 of the second half. And all of a sudden their lead is out to 20 points.
Bounced in front of Sheasel, gathered, got it to Stephen, needs to get rid of it quickly. Cole got in! And Tom Cole, the most unlikely of forwards for the past few seasons, going to go back and have another shot, 45-degree angle to the left-hand side. He'll kick from 40 metres out. And he's on his way in. Key moment in the game, and Tom Cole kicks the major.
Sheasel, he tumbles the ball inside 50, Goad in front position, can't mark, ball at the back, Darling with a handball to Larky, who runs into an open goal, slides it through. It's a third for the North Melbourne skipper, Nick Larky.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio,
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
and ABC Listen.
What was most disappointing, I'd reckon, for Tom Cole is, again, this is a North Melbourne home game, for the second week in a row, his daughter Teddy won't get to hear the Taylor Swift song after he kicked a goal. It was too late for her last week, and unfortunately this week they don't get to play it because it's a North Melbourne home game. Anyway, the big game coming up, Port Adelaide versus Sydney. Aaron Bryans is hosting it for us. G'day, Az.
Clint, I'm very excited for tonight, to be honest. We've already had one big surprise here at the Adelaide Oval, so why not another? Big shout out to Mitzi and her now fiancé, who just got engaged at the northern end on the hill, so maybe Port Adelaide could spring a little surprise later tonight. They've been pretty good against some of the top 10 through the year, so record of 1-4, but their losses are by an average of 7 points. So very competitive. Maybe they can shock the Swans tonight, who have been absolutely rolling. They've had a lot of injuries through the last month, but hasn't really hurt their win-loss record, sitting at 11-2. No Tom McCartan or Justin McInerney for them tonight, but Joel Hamling and Harry Cunningham come in. And the Power have their 5th debutant of the year in Xavier Bammett, who is the former Sandringham captain, was undrafted last year, went to North Melbourne's VFL side and has made his way through the mid-season draft to Port Adelaide, so we'll see what he has to offer tonight. Rod Jamieson will be here alongside Lauren Arnell. Tom Wilson will call the action for me as well. Teams haven't quite dropped just yet, but so far I can see all the stars out in the middle. So looking forward to this one, Clint. It's Port Adelaide and Sydney coming your way next.
Good on you, Aaron. Just a bit of really sad news. I've just been informed that John O'Connell, great of both Claremont and played with Geelong in the VFL, has passed away. President of the Claremont Footy Club here between 92 and 97. Played 156 games for the Tigers and then played 81 games and 65 goals he kicked for Geelong, a ruckman, just a tremendous human. Really, really sad news. So the thoughts to everybody, the whole O'Connell family. Okie was an absolute gentleman and a great person involved with Claremont and Geelong. So, thoughts with the entire family, both with Claremont and with John O'Connell's family. Really sad news. So the thoughts of our experts, Cara Antonio and Chris Waterman. Who wins this one, team?
Well, that's a flip of the coin at the moment, isn't it? That third quarter, though, North Melbourne got on top inside. We mentioned it, particularly Harry Sheasel, but they scored 3 goals, 1 from stoppage in that quarter, where that has been the backbone of West Coast thus far today, and just dominating tackles and pressure. Like, all the stats fall in the way of North Melbourne, but West Coast are still in this game. So it'll be interesting to see how this unfolds. I'm really looking forward to it. Will we see another repeat of West Coast quarter for last week, or will North Melbourne just find another gear and get the 4 points?
Well, we need to see another fourth quarter from West Coast, otherwise they're in massive trouble. We knew that North were going to turn it up on the back of their effort last week. They went in favourites, which caught us all off guard, but we can see why. They're playing a very dogged style of football, and they should probably be more than 14 points in front, but they've left the door open for West Coast. Let's see what they can throw at them.
Harry Sheasel, the leading ball winner on the ground with 24. Blamires is 21 for West Coast. Kelly 19 and Reed 17.
So it's a 14-point lead for North, and they get the clearance from the middle in the restart. Sheasel kicks long. One down by Sherry. Hand pass back. Simpkin swoops on it centre half forward. Out to Blamires in the right half forward position. Kicks inside forward. 50 marks been taken. Larky. Hard up against the boundary. He'll put boots a ball from 30 outs.
Another potential goal from clearance yet again for North, and just a little back lead there from Larky. I thought the West Coast defender had it. Just went over the top of him. Great little pop kick there.
Nick Larky has 2 this afternoon. 28 for the season. He comes in. He liked it the moment it left the boot. Set it into that passionate group of North supporters at the Farmer Freeway end of the ground. Larky's got another one. 4 now. 4 for the game. Goodness me, Nick Larky, he is up and about. North put their lead out to 20 points. 10-11-71 to West Coast. 7-9-51. Opening 80 seconds of the final term here on ABC Sport.
Well, 2 big key forwards, 8 goals between them. Without Jimby and a couple of others, we just thought they might have gone in a little bit light on in the back half, but looks good on paper. But unfortunately, the 8 goals from 2 key forwards is damning at the moment and the real game changer.
Back in the middle, Williams and Trembath in the ruck for North Melbourne. Williams scrubs the kick up towards half forward. Hoff can't gather. Then he tackles Trembath, who didn't have the ball. And it'll be another North Melbourne free kick. Trembath plays on by hand to Parker. Through the centre square. Kick wanted Curtis. Missed him completely. Found only the chest of Herbert for West Coast. He gives it to Harley Reid, who gives it straight back to North Melbourne. And Charlie Comben takes the mark at centre half back for the Roos. His kick flared out wide. Makes it difficult for Harvey under pressure from Cole. Got it to Stevens, whose handball was then smothered by Tom Colan. Knocked out of bounds for a boundary throw in at right half forward for West Coast.
Throwing in. Getting to it first as Williams got 2 hands on it. Simpkin overran it. Sherry couldn't pick it up. Allen could for the Eagles. Reid tried to drag it in. Sheasel got bumped away from it by Yeo. And allowed Allen to pick it up again for West Coast. To Herbert, to Reid. Can't get away from Sherry. Just got the hand pass out. Was slung 360. Socked forward here by Curtis. With the right-handed glove, tapped it forward. Then a second time into the path of Davies-Uniacke for the Kangaroos. Moved it on to Zerha. Left half forward. Kick towards left full forward. Young did well. In front of Larky. Punched it over the boundary line for a throw-in. Vital moment for Young and for West Coast. Seeing it across the line. Spun in left full forward for North. Sherry front position, palmed it down to Zerha, kicked straight into Marrick, ball ricocheted away. Davies-Uniacke back to Simpkin, swept the hand pass back. Sheasel's in hot pursuit. Pressure came from Gross, ball jarred out, still there to be won. Cole did really well. To Baker, onto Johnson, quick hands to Gross. Oh, hand pass went behind Marrick. Cole has to mop up. He had some time for the Eagles and he's able to flare it out to Waterman, marking forward of left half back for West Coast. 20 points the difference. North in front. 4 minutes gone in the last.
Waterman had absolutely nothing to go to, so he just had to hold it up. Now he goes long to left half forward. He wants Duff Tytler. Getting in the way, though, and taking the mark is Luke Parker, the veteran. Sydney Swans premiership player. Goes back inside defensive 50 to Harvey. Now to Stevens. North complete the switch out to the broadcast side where Simpkin takes the mark in front of Bo Allen. Just covering the ground better at the moment, the Roos. Curtis with a little pop pass over the top to Zerha. Ends well. Zerha handles. Curtis kept running. He's trying to get away from Duggan. Does so. Arch the back. Kicks deep inside forward 50 now, and Spargo in the hole. Not paid the mark. The ball comes down towards Trembath. He has a fumble. It gets around. Bazo handball. Wanted Spargo again. Missed the target. It's out for a boundary throw-in. Thought Charlie Spargo unlucky not to be paid the mark there. He was up. He caught it. He came down with it. And then it was punched out of his hand. But the umpire said play on. Instead, North Melbourne have a throw-in, deep inside forward 50. Sherry gets in front of Williams, but the palm down goes straight to Baker. She's tackled strongly there by Spargo, and the umpire will come in to ball it up once more. North Melbourne lead by 20 points. 5 minutes gone in the final term. Sherry and Williams lock up again. Sherry down to Zerha. Wheels around, snaps on the left, bending, not quite all the way back, and it's a minor score for North Melbourne. That lead now 21 points, 10-12-72. West Coast 7-9-51.
Starcevic, dangerous kick, tried to find Young. Myers was there, was able to knock it down, but a free kick will come back here for West Coast. Young having his arms chopped. He'll take the free kick inside his defensive 50. He looked left for Herbert. That was ignored. Nothing immediately on, and then leading up the corridor. Cole's there, he marks it centre-half back. That's a beautiful kick. Out towards Hewitt. Marks and plays on from the northern wing. Towards centre-half forward. Umpire spots an infringement. Baker taking out of the marking contest. He'll have the free kick. It was against Spargo. Cole is streamed forward. He's at right half forward. That was the option. It's now been closed down. Baker kicks into the right forward pocket. Williams stretches, can't mark. Tapped out the back. Here's Stevens. Hand pass behind Daniel, who forces himself across the safety of the behind line. A rush behind. West Coast 7-10-52. North 10-12-72. 7 gone in the last.
Daniel to bring the ball back in for North. Takes his time. Short pass up the middle to Comben. Comben wanted the handball back to Daniel. Then he slipped over. And then he manages to find Harvey in the right back pocket. Marriott corrals him. Harvey with a very short kick. Puts Daniel under pressure. Daniel does well. Little 1-2 with Harvey. Now a kick up towards right half back. And Curtis takes the steadying mark for North. He finds Parker with a short kick. Handballs over the top to a running Blamires. He can take a bounce along the southern wing. Allen closes. Blamires kick into the forward 50s. Not a good one. Tough one to mark. Herbert on his knees. Couldn't get there. Zerha applies the pressure. Now a high kick up. Stevens. Big spoil comes from Shanahan. Hoff overruns it. Davies Uniacke goes back and gets it. Curtis has it in the centre square. He's got 3 players inside forward 50 and he finds Spargo. All on his own at left half forward. He's 45 metres out on a worse than 45-degree angle to the left. And Spargo manages to just pop the ball over the top. No one anywhere near Jai Simpkin, who just leads up and takes the mark. About 10 metres closer to goal. Still a difficult angle up against the left-hand boundary line. But Jai Simpkin is a very skillful player, and this is well within his wheelhouse. A former North Melbourne skipper. Wanted out at the end of last season. He's still there in blue and white. To extend the Roos lead, Simpkin kicks, and it's narrow. Misses to the left-hand side, so extends the lead just by 1. Back out to 21 points, North Melbourne 10-13-73, West Coast 7-10-52. 8.5 minutes gone in the final term.
It remains an equal biggest lead of the game. North keeping West Coast in it. Long towards right half back for the Eagles. McDonald tackled strongly. Got it out to Stevens. He was tackled. Yo picked up the footy. Gave it to Cole. Now to Baker running by. Takes a bounce. Heads to the centre square. Options in front of him. The hand pass forward to Murdoch. Got bumped over by Parker. Winning the ball for North. It came to Sheasel. Kick out towards left half back. It's tracked to the boundary line by Stevens. It doesn't go out. Rolled along the line. Hand pass there for McDonald. Stevens gets it back. Pops it looking to Wardlaw. Well done, Duggan. Tapped it down. But the umpire's going to bring it back here. There's a free kick. Will come to Wardlaw. Immediately points towards the forward 50. And that's where he goes. Long kick. Pack underneath it. Off hands. No mark taken. It comes down here to Herbert. Short hand pass to Baker for the Eagles. Now to Cole at right half back. Hand pass back to Herbert. Look away. Hand pass to Duggan. Curtis got him. Got the hand pass out though. Eagles away through Hoff. Then Hewitt into the centre square. It comes to Lindsay. Flares it out forward to the southern wing. Waterman marks. Looks to play on immediately. He's got to play it free. Shanahan inside forward 50. And he marks for West Coast. 40 out from goal, tighter than a 45-degree angle to the left.
I was just thinking, this scoreboard is not insurmountable for West Coast, but I'm trying to wrap my brain as to where they're going to get the goal from. This might be one. They're still going to find 4 to win.
Job Shanahan, he's got one so far today. Boots cross the 50. Kicks on its way. He keeps West Coast right in this contest. 2 to Shanahan. 8 for the Eagles. 8-10-58 to North Melbourne. 10-13-73 in front of 42,409. Probably more than they would have got at the Docklands. It's got to be said.
It's a good crowd, but it's a good goal by Joe. They just needed to find that other angle towards goal. And this next centre clearance now becomes vital. West Coast can grab momentum if they can get this out of the middle and try and score immediately.
Let's head downstairs. Bridget Lacey.
Yeah, Luke Davies-Uniacke came to the bench a little while ago and looked a little bit sore. They were stretching out his hamstrings and giving him a fair rubbing, and he did a few run-throughs. It looks like he's going to continue, but I think he's maybe got some sore hammies there, the star North player.
And it looks like Elliot Yeo being sent off with a blood rule as well, so another little hold-up as Tim Kelly will take Yeo's spot in the centre square. And North Melbourne's lead 15 points. These two have a history of close games. The last 9 matches between these two, the largest margin has been 17 points, and that was in round 2 this year. 15-point lead to North. Duff Tytler and Goad. Goad with the palm down. Another pack of players just around the ball again. It was Sheasel who had first hands on it, and then Hewitt wrapped him up. The umpire will ball it up again, just the attacking side of the centre circles for North. Simpkin can't get clean possession. Kelly can. Fires out the forward handball to Harley Reid. Reid by hand forward to Hewitt. Hewitt low pass inside forward 50. Onto the chest of Jake Waterman. Just about the slickest passage of play from West Coast today. Kelly to Reid to Hewitt. And then onto the chest of their spearhead in Jake Waterman. He'll take this set shot from just inside 50. And only the slightest of angles to the right. That is issues with accuracy this season, Jake Waterman. He comes in now, kicks from 45. No problem with that one for Waterman. He's got his third. And all of a sudden the margin is back to just 9 points. West Coast, 9-10-64. North Melbourne, 10-13-73. 13 minutes gone in the final term. Before we hear from our experts, let's head downstairs to Bridget Lacey.
Yeah, Luke Davies-Uniacke back on the ground now, and also Elliot Yeo getting that cut to the knee worked on by the Docs as we speak.
Yeah, we called for that clearance and they got it and hit Jake on the chest and got the goal. So they've just grabbed 2 goals on the trot, a bit of momentum, and it's game on. 9 points is nothing here.
Just got better balance at stoppage for me, inside to outside. The last couple, much cleaner as well, making the most of their opportunities forward half.
The game is absolutely alive. North by 9 points. Umpires spotted, the non-controlling umpire as well, spotted a free kick here to West Coast. Kelly, he played on, got tackled by Zerhard, just got a hand pass out. Got it to Herbert, then to Starcevic. He's wrapped up by Wardlaw on the logo northern wing. Wardlaw tried to take it away. Umpire already blown. West Coast made a mess of that opportunity.
Oh, the silly things in football that cost you.
Ball up on the logo, right in front of our broadcast position. Goad got it down. Came to Wardlaw, kicked immediately to half forward. Bazzo, good mark defensively for the Eagles. Goes on a bit of a run and went looking for Marrick up against Blamires. Marrick strong in the one-on-one contest. Has it between left half back and centre wing southern side. Back to Kelly, marking defensive point of the centre square. A switch of play towards the northern wing. Marked by Young, moves it on by foot immediately, and he finds Allen who marks. Allen has to pause. It's congested in front of him, so he steers it back to Herbert. been solid on debut. Geelong, VFL best and fairest winner from last year, picked up only a couple of weeks ago in the mid-season rookie draft. He'll kick into the right forward pocket. Shanahan! Comes at it again and takes an absolute clunk. 48 out from goal. He'll start deep at right half forward.
I reckon he's just about got this distance. He can roost the ball. He's going to be just outside 50 or right on 50.
West Coast have kicked the pass too. They are coming at a sprint. 9 points currently the margin. Job Shanahan wants his third. It's on its way. It's across the face. It's a minor score. Comben making sure of it, tapping it over the behind line. 9-11 plays 10-13. North still in front, 16 gone in the last.
And a quick play on from the kick-in. Daniel from left half back up towards the wing. Dersma rises, can't bring it down. Enough pressure from Baker to see the ball out for a boundary throw-in in front of the interchange gates. The attendance goes up on the big screen. 42,409, as Clint Wheeldon told you earlier. Boundary throw-in on the broadcast wing. Williams, but Goad reaches up over the top. Reed can't take the ball. Kelly can. His handball smothered well by Sheasel, who goes back and wins it. He handballs to Davies-Uniacke. Davies-Uniacke kicks long. It's a one-on-one. Trembath and Starcevic. Both players go to ground. Neither got a hand to the ball. Bazzo first to it at the back. His handball. I'm going to say that's cleverly tapped by Josh Lindsay over the goal line for a rush behind as the pressure was coming from the North Melbourne forwards. A minor score to North, 10-14-74. They lead by 9 points over West Coast, 9-11-65.
Here's Duggan with it in the right back pocket. The co-captain for West Coast comes towards the northern wing. Sherry outpointing Williams in the marking contest. Dangerous kick inboard, waiting for it, knocked out of Zerha's grasp by Lindsay. Came to Harley Reid. Eagles away now through Kelly. Waterman marks 51 from goal. He'll wheel around immediately from 55 out, goes looking for its teammate. Sherry drop back and he takes the mark at fullback for North. They dodge one that time, the Kangaroos. Sherry's kick is out towards Stevens. Marks where the 50-metre arc meets the boundary line at left half back. Still the Kangaroos lead by 9 points, 18 gone in the last.
There's nothing surer than Sherry going wide that time. He wasn't going up the corridor again. As Stevens' kick up the wing is marked by Bailey Williams. He's got it just forward of the wing. The Eagles ruckman puts them back inside 50 and kicks it straight to his opposite number in Tristan Sherry. Bit of ruckman kick to kick. Jack Darling has just come on the ground for North Melbourne saying, kick it back my way. I'll provide a contest. So Sherry sets it up high. Darling at the back rises. So does Duggan. Gets the fist to the ball. Sheasel with a rare fumble. Starcevic knocks it away from him. Murdoch might have had his head ripped off. Umpire says play on. Bazzo pushed off it by Curtis, who goes back and wins the ball for North. His handball to Sheasel, who went to look away to Darling. He misses him, and with the lasso rule, that's a free kick to West Coast. Baker takes it quickly. Chips inboard to Hewitt on the wing, who goes inboard further to Tom Gross, who's right on the logo. Broadcast wing. North still lead by 9 points. A bit of a slow kick from Gross. Got it to Starcevic. Kept running. Got the handball back and puts the Eagles inside forward 50. He wants Waterman. In a wrestle with Logue. Ball out the back. Here's Duff Tytler. Gets the handball up, but North Melbourne have the numbers. McDonald got it. Now Blamires. And North can exit out through right half back.
Constanti has it. Who wants this game more? He kicks towards the wing. Spoil came from Starcevic against Trembath. He sees the ball across the boundary line for a throw-in.
Last two contests, Starcevic been huge.
What a pick-up he was. Eagles fans finally seeing him in action. Second game at AFL level for West Coast. Here's Sherry in front of Duff Tytler, but knocked it down into the path of Hewitt. His kick forward is going to go across the boundary line. That'll be the lasso rule. Nice disposal out of bounds, and Sheasel to have it. Not sure why the crowd's booing. It's absolutely obvious it was there. Sheasel goes back again. Finds low. Now Parker. Switch of play. Out to the direction of Harvey. Marks and plays on immediately to McDonald's. North lead by 9. They have to be cool and controlled here. Harvey stepped back inside Williams. Did really well, and that's a beautiful bit of play. 35-metre kick is able to find Davies-Uniacke, and then he spots Sheasel. Marks uncontested at right half forward into the right forward pocket. It bounces past Darling and over the boundary line for a throw-in. It had to be said, Constanti had a bit to say about why didn't he receive the ball. He was free, about 45 from goal, right forward pocket as well. Boundary umpire to throw it back in. North's lead remains 9 points, 21 gone in the last.
Sherry in front of Duff Tytler, double palms it down to Sheasel. Left foot snap is high up towards the goal square. Larkey and Young in a wrestle. It allows Bazzo to come in and take the defensive mark for the Eagles. Flares it out to right half back. Johnston, a little fumble, but has time to take the mark. Still inside his defensive 50. Goes short inboard to Tim Kelly. Still inside defensive 50, West Coast. Kelly now plays on from right half back and goes up the wing. Herbert and/or Williams. Spoil from Stevens. Goes back. Comben does well to trap it. Herbert and Comben go bang, and Herbert wins the football. That was a good, hard, fair clash from two committed footballers. And Marcus Herbert is doing well to endear himself to the West Coast faithful. It's out for a boundary throw-in in front of the North Melbourne bench.
Great contest.
Boundary umpire tosses it back in. Sherry, front position, straight down the throat, though, of Kelly. Handball to Marrick. Puts West Coast inside forward 50, looking for Waterman. It bounces off his chest in the end. He was pushed out by Lowe, comes back to Waterman. Ball ricochets up in the air. North can't clear it. Logan trying to win the ball, knocks it out towards McKercher. Gathered by Yeo, pops it up to Shanahan. Just willed himself to that football, Elliot Yeo. Kept it in the right forward pocket. And then he just popped it up to a dangerous area, and waiting there was Job Shanahan. He takes the mark 15 metres out, 45-degree angle to the right. This to bring the margin back within one goal.
Gee, they put him back up the ground behind the ball in that third quarter, and he started marking it, and he's completely changed as a player right now.
In he comes. Job Shanahan. He's got two already. From 15 metres out, gets very close to the man on the mark and hits the upright. Oh, I got worried as soon as he got so close to the man on the mark there, Job Shanahan. It's a behind, minor score to the Eagles. North Melbourne lead by 8 points. 23 minutes gone. Final term here at Perth Stadium.
Oh, what a miss from the youngster for the Eagles. As North bring it beyond their defensive 50. McKercher towards left half back. Marrick was there for West Coast. Gave it back to Duggan. Kicked around the body. The ball, though, landing into the path of Davies-Uniacke, who marks for North. Their lead is 8 points. 23 and a bit gone in the last. Can they hang on? North go towards the northern wing. Bazzo in a line of 6. He was fifth in the line of betting, and he drags in the footy. Duggan runs behind him, receives the hand pass. The co-captain kicks back inside forward 50. Shanahan out. Couldn't mark. Curtis at the drop. To Sheasel, to Stevens at left half back. Went right, then left. Manufactured a kick towards Trembath. Stretching, couldn't mark against Bazzo. At the back, the Eagles will have it through Baker. Hand pass to Bazzo. Has to sweep the hand pass back again. Duggan with it once more. Duggan with time to get a kick away. Heads towards right half forward. Oh, huge wide. Duff Tytler in from the side. The Eagles youngsters standing up. Duff Tytler back towards right full forward. Wonderful grab. At the back, Shanahan again. This is a much tougher kick. With barely any daylight to look at between the big sticks, he'll start on the boundary line and will put boots of ball from 25 out.
It's his 8th mark for the game, 4th for the quarter, and 4th inside 50 for the quarter.
Shanahan is in. Goes with the outside of the boots. By Jove, he's kicked it. What a game of footy at Perth Stadium. It's a 2-point game as Shanahan gets his third. North Melbourne 10-14-74. West Coast 10-12-72. 25 gone in the last. This game is still up for grabs. Who wants it more?
Well, dare I say it, it'd be a travesty if North lost this, because they've been the better team over the course of the game. And West Coast find themselves only 2 points behind, but that's because North just left so much out on the table when they were having shots at goal during different parts of the game. But we've got a big 2 minutes of footy going on here.
Missed the easier one. The difficulty, the Russian judges would have given that a 9, and he was able to find a way.
The Eagles have kicked the last 3, and the noise at Perth Stadium is deafening as Yeo wins the clearance, kicks up to right half forward. Murdoch, tackled by Harvey. Did he have the ball? The umpire says play on. Murdoch goes back and gets it, gives it to Yeo. That's holding the ball. Oh, Elliott, he tried to break away. Maybe 4 or 5 years ago, not now. And Jai Simpkin wraps him up. Crucial tackle from one of North Melbourne's senior players. They needed that after what's been a tough week. That debacle in Bunbury. Simpkin long and wide out to the broadcast wing. Bailey relives at the back of the pack. Gathers on the bounce. Handball to Marrick. To Kelly. To Duggan. With his right foot, he puts it back inside forward 50. Big pack of players fly. Spoil comes to the front. Reed gathers. Slipped over. Now Curtis tackled by Yeo. Umpire says play on. Baker pops it inside forward 50. And there's Jake Waterman. All on his own. Milan Murdoch tells the umpire, give him 50. Not sure that was there, but Jake Waterman in the right spot at the right time. Takes the mark. He's 30 metres out. He's directly in front. I think for someone who's had a bit of kicking yips, perhaps not the set shot he wants right now.
Just the pressure. The come forward pressure. Everyone on the same page for the Eagles. Turnover. Another set shot opportunity.
He's kicked 3, Jake Waterman. This to put West Coast in front. From directly in front, he hits the post. Oh, Jake, it's been that kind of season in front of goal for the Eagles spearhead. It's a 1-point ball game. North Melbourne lead. We're into the 28th minute of the final term.
1 point the difference. Parker, long kick in. Big grab, North Melbourne. Beautifully done from Larky at left half back. Are the Kangaroos cool enough to hang on? Larky will come down the line. Every moment matters. Sherry Marks. He's on the wing. He'll soak up every second he can. Sherry just surely has to put it deep inside forward 50 if he can. He'll kick towards left half forward. Bailey J. Williams got a touch on it. Came down to Hoff. Gave it to Marrick. Kicks back towards centre wing. North Melbourne hang on to win by a point. A 125-point turnaround from last week. And they'll take 4 points and $2.5 million out of WA in 2026.
Good old North Melbourne, they're champions, you'll agree. North Melbourne is the team that plays to win for you and me.
Somehow they found a way. After being down by 5 points at quarter time, they led by a point at the half, by 14 at three-quarter time. And despite West Coast having a late chance, North win by a point.
The chorus and sing it one and all. Join in the chorus. North Melbourne's on the ball. Good old North Melbourne, they're champions, you'll agree. North Melbourne is the team that plays to win for you and me.
What a cracking game of footy to watch. Not for its skill execution, but just for the sheer desperation of both teams. Just desperate to get another win in 2026. It's North's 6th win of the year. And they turn away from the belting of Bunbury to prevail at Perth Stadium. North 10-14-74. West Coast 10-13-73. Heartbreak for the Eagles and for Jake Waterman with a chance in front of goal from 30 out to win the game for West Coast. The cruelest of posts. North Melbourne 4 to Larkey, 4 to Darling, singles to Sheasel and to Trembath. For West Coast, Waterman in the end, 3 goals, 3. Shanahan with 3. Singles to Reid, to Cole, to Baker and to Hoff. The Kangas hang on in front of 42,409 fans. And Jack Darling, his best ever return in North Melbourne colours. Heartbreaking again for West Coast, losing to Port Adelaide by 6 points last week. They go down by a point this afternoon. Let's get the thoughts of our experts. How you feeling, Muddy? Chris Waterman and Cara Antonio.
Well, it was the sort of game we thought might happen, really. It ended up being 1 point. We weren't sure which way it was going to go. Couldn't trust either team at this point with West Coast outs. And North coming off a horror show last week, and good on them for fighting their way back and getting 4 points out of WA. It wasn't the greatest of games of footy. A lot of pressure, a lot of mistakes. A lot of missed opportunities. 20 goals, 10-14, 10-13. So both of them are pretty poor in front of goals in the end, and they just hung on. So many mistakes can go back through. But I thought North dominated early and could have put 4 or 5 like they did early on in the year. Could have put 4 or 5 on West Coast, and at different parts of the game it looked like West Coast were going to go away with it. Then North came back, and then West Coast came back. But not enough. Terrific game to watch with all the pressure and so forth, but far too many mistakes. 2 teams at the wrong end of the ladder trying to work their way up. A lot of injuries, a lot of outs. Well done to North. They get 4 points out of 8 and head back home licking their wounds. And what'd you say, Clint? A couple of $1 million in their pockets. So well done to them.
Yep, 125-point turnaround. And as I said, each year they bring these 2 games west. They take $2.5 million in the skyrocket, and again for the second year in a row take 4 points back to Victoria. It's a nail-biting win in every measure. Just the way they were able to hang on, and they climb up to 11th on the live ladder with North Melbourne's 6th win of the year.
So that's now the last 10 games between these two, all decided by 3 goals or less.
All 10 games total
between these two. Yeah, sorry, the largest margin in those 10 games, including today, was 17 points, and that was West Coast winning round 2. So they play thrillers when they come up against each other, whether it's here or in Hobart or at the Docklands or Bunbury. Doesn't really matter where. These two sides play close games.
And they got some supporters over in North. We've spoken about that. A lot of guys from my era who followed Ross Glendinning, and then the Cracker Boys and plenty of others through the 80s that I played against, the Hepburns, the Schenkos and all the Brayshaws, all of them. A lot of big WA foundation. I think Todd Viney said on the radio this morning they've got 7 currently on their list from WA, which is, about 30% of their list, or about 20% of their list. So good on them. They're going out to see all their fans right now and celebrating. So they'd be pretty chuffed with all supporters over here, given what they were shown last week.
It's an incredible turnaround. And look, this is an obvious statement. There's an enormous difference between where Fremantle at and where West Coast is at. An enormous difference. But still, with the pressure that they were under this week, not just for the deal that's been done, but there were questions being asked about their coach. I know West Coast have not been great, but they were just able to find a way. How important are those sorts of wins when you've been challenged as fiercely as you have? And even though they probably think they're getting out of jail because Jake Waterman kicks truly, West Coast win this game. But to be able to take these 4 points, what does it mean for a group that's been under that sort of extreme pressure for the last 7 days?
Yeah, well, it's only been the 7 days, so that, as I said earlier in the call, they were lucky that they were in WA, because they would have got court-martialed if they were in Melbourne, and they would have been happy to run back out tonight to resurrect what they did what they didn't do last week. So to pull a win against anyone, just to be better. And I know the difference between the teams they played last week and this week are huge, but just to walk off today with that winning ache and go home after, the extremes of getting absolutely belted, then just fighting tooth and nail and getting a win. They'd be proud of that, and Clark would be happy with it. On the other side, West Coast, I know there was opportunities. Long term, you wouldn't be too disappointed in this West Coast team right now. I mean, when you have two or three, one good player out makes a big difference. When there's 2, 3 or 4 makes a huge difference. I shouldn't be saying this argument, but they're better off right now. They're better off finishing as low as they can. Get one more. Get those other blokes back in. You've still got Robinson, Dursma and all them blokes to come back in. The longevity of West Coast has really, really turned. And there's some guys out there tonight that aren't part of their future, their best 22, unfortunately. And I thought they just lacked a lot of run through the midfield and 2-stop start. To North's credit, they were good. I just thought North could have won this game by 5 goals when you look back on it. They blew too many shots on goal early.
Yeah, it could have been over in...
Yeah, could have been over early.
Yeah, even start of the game, just missed opportunities, and yeah, you feel for Jakey down the other end, but ultimately it doesn't come down to that kick. There were many, I think that's why they play such close games, that poor skill execution and decision making all over the ground for 4 quarters. They keep each other in the game, and at the end of the day, North Melbourne get the chocolates and finish on top at the final siren. But in that last quarter, again, West Coast showed up like they did last week. Probably should have won last week. Probably should have won tonight based on that last quarter effort. So,
if you're listening throughout South Australia, we'll head your way very shortly for a big build-up for Port Adelaide against Sydney. If you're with us around the rest of the network, stick with us. Another 25 minutes of post-match analysis, and we'll hear from the Kangaroos rooms as well. In fact, let's take you down there now. It's their debutant leading the way into the rooms, Taylor Goad. Did he goad them into action today? He's 1 from 1. Bridget Lacey's down there for us. Bridge?
Yes, big cheer as they enter the rooms, as you'd expect. Nick Larkey hugging a few as he goes past. There's a nice crowd in of family and friends. Obviously, we know there's a lot of North Melbourne support here in Western Australia. And Taylor Goad's getting the usual treatment with the lovely sports drink. You'd expect this. Charlie Commons brought also a young kid into the circle with him. Here we go.
North Melbourne, North Melbourne, how we come to fight. Just great, great, safe, fast, long way. All this fun is fun, doing something today. So, join in the chorus and sing it one and all. Join in the chorus, North Melbourne's on the ball. Good old North Melbourne, we're champions, you'll agree. North Melbourne will be premiers, just you wait and see.
There we have it. We have a player very shortly.
For our South Australian audience, you're off to Port Adelaide versus Sydney. Thanks for your company here at Perth Stadium. And for everybody else, stick with us for another 23 minutes or so as we wrap up. As we've said, look, it wasn't a classical game in terms of skills, but hard fought and always close. North Melbourne's rooms downstairs are absolutely packed to the brim. Can't say it didn't mean a fair bit. Nice to see Alistair Clarkson on the big screen over here just wander across and give Taylor Goad on debut, the big 207cm 21-year-old, a big pat on the back for his debut. So North Melbourne, 4 to Nick Larkey, 4 to Jack Darling, Cooper Trembath with 1, Harry Sheasel with 1 as well. It's a big turnaround, 125-point turnaround for North after last week's loss to Fremantle, where they just did not show up. But they certainly were able to do that today, got genuinely challenged and found a way to win. North Melbourne just repeating that full-time score, 10-14-74 to West Coast, 10-13-73 in front of 42,409, which, by the way, is North's biggest ever home crowd against West Coast. Previous best, 33,151 at the Docklands back in 2005. Bridget Lacey's down in the Kangaroos rooms. Bridge.
Yes, Clint, I'm with one of the heroes today for North Melbourne, Tristan Sherry. That got a lot tighter, I'm sure, than you'd hoped, but it must be a huge relief after the week that you've had to be able to respond with a win today.
Yeah, definitely. It was pretty nerve-wracking at the end there. We probably let him in it. A bit too close for comfort, but yeah, like you said, 4 points is hard to come by no matter the opponent, no matter the week, so we'll take it.
Yourself, you actually were on the bench sort of late in that quarter. I'm thinking, gee, they want to get him back on, and they did, and you had a few big moments there late. How much did you try to impose yourself on the contest there late?
Yeah, I mean, I tried to do that all game, every game, so it was nice that I could grab a couple and sort of help the team in that aspect, but yeah, I think a few things went my way, but yeah, definitely glad to impact.
What has the week been like for you guys? Obviously a tough result last week and you're away from home. I think you spent the week in Freo. How's it been? Was it a chance to bond? Did you feel like you made some progress through the week prior to this one?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously last week was disappointing. There's no sugarcoating that. It was a performance we want to forget and no doubt improve on. I think we did improve on from last week, but there's still heaps of areas to keep growing as a team. We addressed plenty of things during the week, and I think it was a good thing that we sort of could connect during the whole week. Build that team chemistry, and once we sort of did our review, it was just business as usual, and then come out game day, and the boys luckily got it done.
Absolutely. I'll send you upstairs for some more questions. We've got Clint Wilden, Akash Vodadar, Chris Waterman and Cara Antonio.
Tristan, well done today. It's Chris Waterman. How was the week over here? Are you glad you're in WA? Regardless of last week, were you glad you're in WA and not Victoria?
G'day, Chris. I was, and then the weather was raining and windy every day and freezing actually. So it was pretty much like I was in Melbourne when we had training. It was torrential rain, and then it was sunny, and then it was freezing. So I don't know what was going on there.
What was the theme throughout the week? I mean, we've all been there and played footy and just copped an absolute belting by someone. And you don't need much to fire up for the next week. Did Clarko and Toddy throw any themes at you during the week?
Sort of. It was just about getting back to who we were, restoring that belief, and Clarko used the metaphor, filling the bucket back up. Obviously, no doubt when you have a performance like that, it can damage a bit of confidence. But we made it a theme to build on some of the things we're doing right at training and had been doing previously in games. So we went into trainings and game day with that belief and that confidence back.
Tristan, Cara Antonio here. Congrats on the 1 point win. In terms, we hear about it all the time about scenario training and things like that. What was the scenario for you guys as a team when obviously Jake Waterman missed that goal and it was a kick out? What were the focuses?
I mean, every team would be pretty similar in that circumstance with a minute to go, up by one. It would just be try and get the game slowed down, marks if you can, and luckily Suvi took a huge mark from a kick out, and then I was able to clunk one after him, so that sort of chewed through a bit of clock, and from there we just took territory, and I don't know how long was left with that kick out, but with those couple of moments that would have chewed up most of it.
And I noticed as well, probably from half-time, I think it was, Trembath had a bit of a go in the ruck, so there was almost like a three-way rotation with yourself against Williams. What was the thought behind that one?
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen Trembath jump, but he's incredibly athletic, and as too with the debutant Taylor Goad, he's super tall, super athletic. So those two boys can really jump, and sort of that centre bounce is their strength. I'll get in there if the team needs me to. I love it, but we love using those two in the middle because they have such athletic ability and can get up and be a really damaging look for us.
North Melbourne ruckman Tristan Sherry is our guest on ABC Sport after the Roos 1 point win. Tristan, Akash Vodadar here. I just want to ask you about a couple of your teammates. Jack Darling really turned the clock back today. Guys like Jack Darling and Luke Parker, Caleb Daniel, another one, really experienced. premiership players you've brought in from other clubs over the last couple of years. What do they bring to your group?
Yeah, like you said, experience. All three of them have been premiership players. So super with the young core group that we're building here, just helping the development and sort of showing that professionalism around the club. You touched on Jack Darling. It's his birthday today. 34 years old, the big fella, and geez, he looked 25 out there. He was incredible, and obviously, no doubt they would have felt good against the old mob.
How much of a boost is it for someone like Nick Larkey to have another big forward up there who can, take some of the other defenders away and just free him up a little bit as well?
Yeah, for sure, no doubt. Even big Cooper Trembath has been playing some good footy this year. So with the three of them up forward, all with different skill sets, I think they really complement each other well and sort of help each other out in different aspects of the game.
And Tristan, just having a look at the ladder now after that, you're only sitting, one spot really outside the wildcard positions now. It's that strange kind of season. Do you have goals looking forward? Do you think about that? We could get ourselves into the postseason, or is it just about continuing with this build that you've been having over the last few years?
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like every team in the competition should be striving and have goals of whether it's finals or wild card this year. So no doubt that's an aspiration for us. But yeah, like you touched on, it's 1 week at a time for us. If we dwelled on the results of last week, this week probably doesn't happen. So you do have to take it 1 week at a time. But yeah, I'll be lying if I said I don't have aspirations for the postseason.
Tristan, just two before we let you go, thanks for chatting. Clint Wilden here. On the way that everyone cracked in today and the way they played, just thought back to last week. Was there an illness in the camp? Was there something untoward? Because the turnaround in desire and effort was incredible. What can you put it down to?
Yeah, I don't think there was an illness that I knew of. I wish we had that to use it as an excuse. But Fremantle are a very good team, and if you're even half off or a fraction off, they'll punish you like they did last week. No doubt we're more than a fraction off last week. But yeah, we have to come to every game with the attack on the footy and that contest mentality, because the results like last week will happen, especially against those top teams. But against every team in the comp, West Coast have been playing good footy this year, so we knew we had to bring it.
And just take us inside what it's like on the field. We know games can come down to moments. When Jake Waterman's lining up for that shot, what were you feeling? What were you thinking?
Yeah, I was actually on the junction. I was doing the math. I said if he misses this, the ball's definitely going to come to us. So I made sure I told Suvi that to be ready, because I knew there was about a minute left. So I was preparing for the miss, and luckily Big Suvi took a monster mark. So it all worked out in the end. But yeah, definitely was preparing for the miss, and then had he kicked it, we would have gone into a different scenario.
It's an incredibly tight game. It was fantastic to watch from up here. Well done on getting the win, answering a few critics back home, and I'd imagine you'll be thrilled to get back on the plane. Well done.
For sure. Thanks guys. Cheers.
Tristan Sherry downstairs. Huge game from him. Huge game from a number of the North Melbourne players today. Nick Larkey with 4 and Jack Darling with 4, as we mentioned before, the most he's ever kicked in blue and white. So on his birthday, the 2018 Eagles Premiership player, he did bob up to cause a few problems. Muddy, how's Jake going to do with that today?
Oh, he'll take that pretty hard, because last Sunday morning I went over there and he was a bit sombre. I thought he blew an opportunity. Now he's backed that up with another one. So, he's going to be soul searching. But as I said, if it was grand final day, you got to live with it for the rest of your life. But it's not. You get next week or whenever you get. Have they got to buy West Coast?
They do.
Yeah, so he's got a couple of weeks to think about it, even better.
So how do you, again, this is the curse of the way football is, moments can decide matters. You kick 3 goals, and you've presented and you've put yourself in any number of positions, but the ability to just deliver when there is that game up for grabs. How do you deal with that as a professional? You've been there. You know what it's like. How do you deal with that as a professional?
Oh, it comes and goes. Some days, actually spoke to Summer during the week about it. He said some days it's The goals look like they're about 100 metres apart. Other days they look like they're an inch apart. It's just the way it is. And he was going to have a chat to Jake about it, so I think he's slowly working with the right people. You know, I didn't want to say that his hips are out, and then because of the shoulders being taped and all this. I mean, Jake's the one that's got to fix it himself in between the years, but it's it'll take a bit of time. It's not like he's playing bad footy.
No, and that's
the crucial
point.
one.
Yeah, and that's why the game can be unfair, because he's kicked 3 goals today, and he's put himself in good positions, and he was smart the way he got around the back for that first one and read where it was coming off the hands. But again, people will go, look, you need to convert those.
Yeah, that's right. That's what you get. That's what you get the money for. So, I mean, to think about where that third one potentially was, off the knee, 6 goals to 2, and then the game just flipped, and now they lose by a point.
Yeah,
it's just amazing what sort of different scenarios this game puts you through as a player and as a commentator. Even better.
How are you coping as dad in the box?
No, I'm fine. He'll live with it. That's just the way it goes. I mean, I'd just love to see West Coast have won the game.
Yep.
But there was, as I said earlier, there was a lot of... They'd be on the plane tonight thinking I lost the game early in the game if they'd have lost by a point, because they were just... You know, Harry Sheasel had a couple of absolute mares. So everyone will talk about the one with a minute to go, but there was plenty of really bad shots tonight.
And in Jake Waterman's defence, Job Shanahan missed one only moments before from 15 metres out on a slight angle and just got too close to the man on the mark. So, as you said, Money and Cara, that's what the big forwards are paid to do, is to kick those goals. And both of them slotted goals from the boundary today.
But on that, Job couldn't get near it in the first half. And just that third quarter, they stuck him up behind the ball. And on this wing here, he took 2 or 3 marks at the half-back, and all of a sudden he went forward and one came off his hands and he fell over it, lobbed back on his chest, and he kicked a long goal. And from there, his confidence seemed to grow. But you look at the other team here, Jack was going really well. Then Larkey popped up, the extra key forward. That's what West Coast were missing. And then Job jumped up, so it made it a game. So they just needed that. With the 2 young blokes, Cooper Duff and young Job, they're just going to have that... those inconsistencies, but I just checked the waffle scores, and West Coast did beat Swans, and Jack Williams has kicked 3 goals and Tyler Jewell's kicked 4. So that's given something to look at, because Tom Grace didn't really give much. I think he's something to work with. Harvey Johnson's probably going to run out of gas, I would have thought, if there's someone else to give an opportunity to. He's had 4 or 5 now, Harvey. The other one is Ryan Marich and Bo Allen started back, I think, but ended up going on to the wing. When you consider that the 2 wingmen from North are the second and third highest possession getters. Yep. And Marich and Bo Allen just didn't give it it was that run through the corridor, that next handball, that next kick that West Coast just couldn't quite get. So there's a 20 possession difference on the wings between the 2 teams, and that makes a huge difference, because that means you can get the ball quicker to your forwards, they move more, and it's harder for defenders to stick up on. So that's an area that West Coast need to have a look at, their wings, and just need to get some more. I mean, we've been spoilt with some pretty good wingers over the time, but it's a crucial area of the game if you can really get that run and carry going.
Hamish Davis, one of the stories, out with concussion in the very first quarter after a tackle from Paul Curtis. It will be looked at because there's been a player concussed, and Davis will go into the concussion protocols. Does Curtis, who has been suspended for a similar tackle and got 3 weeks last season, does he have anything to worry about from what you've seen, Tara?
Yeah, I saw it. I mean, I didn't see it live because I was following the ball, to be honest, and didn't really see what had gone on. But again, in slow-mo, it doesn't look good. They're both in the air as he's being tackled. Ball's spilled free, and obviously arms pinned, head hit the ground. There's not enough time for the young West Coast player to protect himself in Davis, I don't think. So, again, we needed to protect, it's our responsibility as the tackler to protect the head of the player we're tackling, and so it'll get looked at. Again, goes to tribunal. It's a flip of the coin every time, I think, for me.
The reasonable player, will the reasonable player be expected to release Davis in the tackle? That'll be the question asked here.
I think if you look back at the incident, so Davis was, as you do when you're farming out a quick handball, was off his feet almost like in a diving horizontal to the ground motion. And then Curtis is pretty similar because he's diving desperately to affect the ball and the tackle. So I'm not really sure what else Paul Curtis can do. Again, we go back to Billy Frampton and Brodie Myercheck. Everyone says, what else could Billy Frampton have done in that situation because Myercheck drove his head towards him? It might be similar for Paul Curtis, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him given weeks by the MRO. It goes to the tribunal and gets thrown out again.
Yeah, you'll have to challenge it if you get something, I would have thought.
I wouldn't be surprised if that gets weeks and they go, well, let's sort this out in a discussion and see what comes of it. I'm 100% on board with that. I think that's what will happen. And
I didn't see a replay, did you?
Yeah, I've seen the replay. Akash described it beautifully. Davis is literally that leap forward when you try to shovel the hand pass out. Curtis has arms over him. Curtis, I wouldn't say drives him forward, but because of the momentum they go forward, Davis is able to put a hand down, but because of the momentum as they are both going forward, Davis's head does make solid contact with the ground. So the question, again, that will be asked by both the MRO and if it goes to the tribunal is the old reasonable player. And in high speed, I'm always of the opinion with these things, he hasn't driven him into the ground, but forward momentum has taken him into the ground. Is the reasonable player a genuine chance of being able to release him in the tackle? Sometimes I think the reasonable player is more of Superman than a reasonable player.
We're asking a bit much if we're expecting a player to release whilst they're leaping forward to lay it. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But again, I don't know.
And there's Davis who's going all right. He's 15 to 18 possessions, which you don't get, and that runner through that midfield. And, of course, Curtis was the one I was most concerned about. He had 15 possessions then, but didn't threaten the scorers. And it was probably early in the game that we spotted Duggan on Jack Darling and thought, well, this doesn't look good. And that's how it panned out. And they just didn't have that Jimby type to match up on that extra big.
Port Adelaide and Sydney coming up. We'll be there in about 4 minutes' time, so stick around for that. Certainly plenty of interest in the West with Fremantle fans cheering on Port Adelaide because they'll be hoping they can stay top of the ladder if Port can spring a surprise against the second-ranked Sydney Swans. But first we need to get the votes. ABC Footballer of the Year and in the Christian Medal. Let's do the big build-up from 1 to 3 here. Team, who's doing the votes? ABC Footballer of the Year
I'll turn myself on for it. Well, I've gone all north for the...
That's fine.
3-2-1. I've gone one vote to Tristan Cherry. I thought he was outstanding in the ruck and used his body around all day.
Yep.
2 votes to Harry Sheasel. And 3 votes to the Big Jack, who kicked and win. The game was just about out of reach for North, and they went in a point up at half-time. And I thought they were the 3 most crucial goals of the game, and it proved that in the end.
Christian Medal.
Yeah, this is not...
It's always a bit of a challenge at times.
Easy.
I'm glad you're doing it, not me.
It's a raffle. I'll go 1 vote. So, yeah, I'll give 1 vote to Milan Murdoch. I thought for the most part he held Caleb Daniel and George Wardlaw didn't impact the game in the first half. I think they had 2 possessions between them. Caleb Daniel got going a bit in the third quarter, but Milan tried his heart out too and still kept him below par. So I thought 1 vote there. I'll give Tommy Cole 2 votes because we gave him a vote last week. He actually got West Coast going back in the game there for a period of it when no one else was really able to do anything. And I'll give Tim Kelly 3 votes. I thought he was outstanding all day. Harley was so good in the first quarter, but then just battled to... What did Harley have? He had 11 in the first quarter or 12, Cara, and he's ended up with 21, just disappeared.
Did you know? Did anyone go to him in particular?
No,
I didn't notice it.
No. And I don't think they really do that much. It was West Coast which were locking down Wardlaw and Daniel, and there was a period in that second quarter where you would have thought West Coast could go in 4 or 5 goals up. Tick, got all the tags right, but the one match-up we were concerned about was Duggan on Jack Darling, and it caused the biggest problem for the game.
So North Melbourne next week, they'd fancy their chances. They've got Richmond, that's the early game on the Sunday at the MCG. West Coast have the bye. After the bye, the Eagles have got Carlton at the Docklands, and then we'll host the Crows here in Perth in round 17. So that's what's to come. Just repeating earlier today, Melbourne by 45 points over Essendon at the MCG. We're off to Port versus Sydney very shortly, but North Melbourne won a thriller, a 1-point game, 10-14, 74 to 10-13 73. I didn't mind this text from Nick. G'day, Nick in Albany. Can it still be considered a rivalry when two bad teams have such close games against each other? It's not the same feel as the Eagles and Swans in the mid-2000s or Geelong and Hawthorn in the 2010s. No, I'm absolutely prepared to accept that, Nick. That's fine. I think Akash's point was they just keep playing close games against each other.
And maybe they'll both be up the top of the table in 5 years' time, still having close games. That's what the fans of West Coast and North will be hoping with two rebuilding teams.
No, I do agree. The rivalry's not quite the same when it's, 14th versus 16th today. Fair point. Thanks very much for your company. Thank you very much, Cara Antonio. Thanks, Chris Waterman. Good to have you both on board. Downstairs, of course, Bridget Lacey. Terrific job. To Adrian Sardi, who keeps us on air. To Jesse Donnelly-Jones. Well done back in the studio. And, of course, to Akash Foden. Lovely to sit next to you, Akash. Back to the boundary line for you very shortly. Big shout out to Mitch Turner having the weekend off. North Melbourne, big turnaround. 124-point losers last week. 1 point winners today. 4 points. What a treat for the Kangaroos fans. Their 6th win of the season. West Coast have lost 2 games by 6 points and now 1 point. Now they head to the bye. Thanks for your company. Let's take you now to Adelaide. Aaron Bryan's leading the call. It's Port and Sydney next on ABC Sport.